are early. We are not on black people time because black people be on black people time. Even though we're black people, we don't want to be on black people time. Sometimes it's okay to be punctual or a little early because y'all ain't going to file in till like 10 o'clock anyway. So it is what it is. And anyway, man, as a reminder, make sure you log on to doggiediamondstv.com. That is my official website. Everything is on there. If it's a video that you think you might have missed, you didn't see, yo, I ain't see him post in a while, where he been? A lot of times I be saying, where he been? Doggiediamondstv.com. Everything is on there. And you just got to make sure you set your notification bell so when I go live, you'll know. That's all I could really tell you, man. I'm here. I'm working. I'm active. That's what it is. Listen, man, and if you haven't heard about my $100 promo deal, let me give you some details really quick. The promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV as well as the Interlude TV, the Insta Stories, the YouTube community, the threads, the Twitter accounts is where your posts will go. I can promote whatever you need. But as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you bring more awareness to your products. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Salute to Something Light Clothing. I'm about to promote a bunch of stuff. A lot of people sent me some drip. So I'm happy about that. My drip going to be dripping. Yeah, I'm about to be, they got me fly. A lot of people got me fly. Shout out to Something Light Clothing. They got me fly. Something Light Clothing, LLC. They got me fly. Listen, man, and if you need strategy, and this is for artists, podcasters, business owners, content creators, the services include social media growth, brand clarity, organic supporter building, rollout strategy, product management, monetization strategy. Hit up at Coach Kandaka on Instagram. You can inquire about prices or whatever the case may be, but please don't go there unless you're ready to work within the next now. Don't be like, oh, I'll get back to you in next year around, when the leap year. No. Please stop wasting people's time. It's not worth it. If you're ready to work, you see what the services are, you see who it's for, just find out. No budget is too small. No budget is too small. Just inquire, and just be serious about your business. Business, we got to handle business better. Be serious about your business. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Who starts without the music? Me. Hold on. No. We don't do that. We start right. Let's go. Here we go. And don't forget. Doggie Diamonds did this. Yeah, man. Hit that like button too. Get them likes up. Yes. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Watch Slice is here. Ali Frazier is here. Yo, that's a fly name too. I never even really did the knowledge to that. Ali Frazier. Yo, that's kind of fly. Sticky Finger, what's up? I see you. Velia 1. Velia 1. You tell me and I mess it up every time, man. Velia 1. I think that's it. $1 Million Minds, what's up? SEG Publishing, what's up? Self-Sufficient 100, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while, but I'm glad you here tonight. Nisha 9 Stars is in the building. Bay Area Rap Takes are here. Ohio is in the building. Talk Show The Visionary is here. Sincerely yours is here. PJ Allen 15 is here. Neltron 8000 is always here. MW 101 is here. Kerry is here. Nate Jackson is in the building. Fly Ish Only is here too. Yes. Make sure y'all get them likes one. Velion. There we go, Velion. I always trip out on that, but I got you. D81 Cash, what's up? Check Vids Online in the building. Troy Parker, what's up? Mongo Slade, what's up? Dirty South is in the building. I missed somebody too. Okay. We got K. Biggins, 1978. Chad Smith, I see you. I ain't forget you. Philly Sheed, I ain't forget you either, man. I see you. We got Rob Barrett in the building. Zone 864. Whoa. It's about to act stupid. What was that all about? What's the hiccup all about? Yo, if it freeze or act crazy, don't go nowhere. I'll be back because it decided it just wanted to wild out just now. I don't know what's happening. That means, yo, get up out of here. Start the show. That's what it means. That's what it means. So that's what I'm going to do. I ain't playing, man. I ain't playing. Let me just start the show because this just told me. It just told me, yo, shut up and start the show, man. You shouting out the people. Shout out to yeah, it was a remix.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
All right, let me start this show, right? I do want to say this. I have a guest tonight by the name of King Simon. Anything that comes out of my mouth does not necessarily reflect the views, ideas, ideologies of King Simon. All right? Let what King Simon say stand with him. Let what I say stand with me. Okay? I'm going there tonight. So if you get mad at anybody or you feel like you want to get mad, you know I'm with the shit anyway. So I'm outside. King Simon is cool, smile. I'm with the shit. So whatever. It's whatever with me. Because some of y'all going to get called out tonight. Just saying that now. Letting you know now. But anyway, without any further ado, I got my bro King Simon in the building. What's going on?
My brother, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
I can't complain, man. Even if I was complaining, nobody's listening.
That's right. That's what I learned by a study under Les Brown. Nobody cares about
Nobody's listening, man. Nobody's listening. But you know what, though? We just got to get to it and just keep going no matter what. Ebbs and flows. Ebbs and flows. It don't rain every day and the sun don't shine every day. So what I want to do before I ask the critical question, because you see what the title is, so we go in there.
Yes, sir.
Can I qualify you or why you're here and why you are speaking to this topic, why you're speaking, period? Because one thing that I learned, shout out to my brother Amir, who I have deep conversations with. He said to me today, he said, yo, bro, sometimes if a dude come with a stethoscope and he come with a white jacket and he come with a nameplate, you automatically gonna think he a doctor.
It's true.
But you don't know no qualifications if he a doctor or not. You just think he a doctor because he's looking the part. And I think a lot of times we fall under the spell of people looking the part, but we never check their qualifications. And I'm guilty of doing that myself too.
Me too.
So this is why this is perfect. Could I get a little bit of King Simon's background? Where did you grow up?
I was born in the Brooklyn Jewish Hospital in Brooklyn. Went to 316.
Is that on Clausen?
Yes, sir.
I was
It's
born
now
there too. That's why I was saying that. Yep.
So
Yeah.
there we are. And it's now a condominium. You know, it's condos now. You know, that's what they're doing over there. My grandmother's house is still up the block. My cousin Hunt is actually living in that house that I was born and raised. And then from there I moved to Clinton Hills, Atlantic Terminals, right near the co-ops. I was in the co-ops, and then of course had friends in Atlantic. One of my best friends is Trevor Douglas. Big up to Trevor from back in the day.
Shout out to Dancing Trevor. Dancing Trevor. Used to do the Michael Jackson. Go ahead.
Dancing Trevor. That's my man. Me and him used to dance and perform back in when we was in school back in the day, because we went to Martin Luther King High School.
Okay.
Back in the day. And I went to PS11, of course. I went to PS11. Graduated from PS11, where Notorious B.I.G. went to PS11.
Facts.
I understood. So I come from that area, and then I moved after my mother didn't want to live in the apartments anymore. She actually bought a house in Flatbush, East Flatbush, Brooklyn, where she still resides right now. And so I was in those communities all my life. Although my parents are from Jamaica and Cuba, I was born here. My sister and I and my grandmother came and brought all of them here. My grandmother came and brought my father and my mother and everybody here from Jamaica in the 1950s, 1960s. Actually.
Damn.
So they was going back and forth between here because, everybody wants to get a better life. It's just like people moving from the South to go north. We came from way down south in the Caribbean's up north, and to make a better life. And my mother and grandmother was actually sending money to help the family in Jamaica. Not everybody wanted to come. So a lot of people did send. So I'm definitely a part. I used to be in the hip hop world. I used to spin and DJ with the twins and Understanding and all of them in the co-ops back in the day. We used to be in their apartments up in Atlantic Terminals, man.
11th floor. The 11th floor.
Yeah, I used to be there. We used to challenge each other and battle each other up. I was a DJ on the turntables back in the day. And I had me, Sylvester, Mark Plaza, Eric Plaza, all of us was rolling. Big up to Pabs and Tim and all of them that know me from over there.
Mark Plaza, Slick Love. Shout out to Slick Love.
Yeah, matter of fact, I just texted him. He did require. I texted him. I sent him this and tell him to watch it.
Tell
You know,
Slick,
we
yeah,
got
when
Slick.
you speak to Slick, we'll talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
live
Slick.
out here now. He live in Georgia.
Okay, okay. Slick
So we
love.
need to link up. We need to link up to him. So
Okay.
I grew up with, of course, the American side and the Caribbean side. So I had the experience of both. Because when I went to Flatbush, that's when I, coming out of Atlantic Terminals, I started promoting in Atlantic Terminals. The first party I ever promoted was Stephanie. I don't know if you remember Deneen and
Of course,
Stephanie.
of course, of course.
Stephanie's little party when we was like
Right.
12 years old in our house back in the day. So, word of mouth. We was doing the word of mouth thing. But I was born in a nightclub. I was born in the Jewish hospital, but right up the block, my father opened up a nightclub in the basement of that place in Prospect. So I was raised in the nightclub area, the promotional area. Then my cousin took the promotion. Then I took the promotion to another level by getting on radio, television, doing SOBs, all that kind of stuff. So I even wrote a book on it. No promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my
Hey,
name right.
where could they get
So
that book at?
on Amazon, no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right.
Okay, King
Yeah,
Simon. Okay,
King Simon.
so that
Yeah,
is the hip hop qualification, the party life, the outside Atlantic Terminals. That area, as people know, that is also my area.
that's
King
right.
Simon is a generation or two older than me, but
Yes,
by
sir.
the time King Simon was gone, my generation, of course, my cousin Tad and them,
Yes.
and then we were outside whipping people ass and doing all types of
Yeah.
stuff like that. We would
I was hearing about y'all because I was coming back and forth all the time. I was hearing
we
about y'all,
was
believe me.
we was out there, but then we also got bit by the music bug because Tone from Trackmasters
Tone,
lived
yeah,
in
Trackmasters.
lived in the city building. That's what y'all
Okay,
used to
yeah,
call it. Co-op people call it the city building,
exactly. My
right?
brother Tone.
So we were there, and then that's how I got bit by the music. So when did you realize? When did you first get knowledge of self? Because knowledge of self, a lot of times we believe that it's the 5% doctrine, but it's actually not. Knowledge of self is just knowledge of your awareness, your surroundings. And when did you first get knowledge of self?
Well, living in a Caribbean / American community, my father was a reggae DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard Bob Marley from young. All of that One Love and all that. I heard the original version before it became what y'all are listening to in the albums today, because he had it in the ska version first. One love, one heart, let's get together. It was ska. And
Right.
then they made it into the reggae, slowed down the beat, and he remixed it. And my cousin on my mother's side was actually one of the people, was the founding members of the Scatter Lights in Jamaica, and that was playing the trumpet back in the day. And my cousin on my father's side is Grace Jones.
Wow.
Second cousin, father Grace Jones on my father's side in Spanish, from Spanish Town, Jamaica. And I believe also Spice is related to me because we have the same last name in that area. But her father died at an early age when she was like 9. So I believe she's also part of the family, but we haven't made that connection. But anybody that's part of that Hamilton family, we're more than likely related in Spanish Town, Jamaica, Portmore, and all them places. So I'm from that. And then on my mother's side, I had the disco diva, Susie Q.
Wow.
So on my mom's side. So I was always into entertainment, modeling, fashion. Again, my father was a DJ that used to bring all these records from Jamaica and play R&B and all these things, because I used to hear all of these music ringing through the house, because we lived upstairs and the lounge was downstairs right there on Prospect Place. So I grew up watching that, and I got knowledge of self through the music, but I did join the 5% Nation at the age of 14. 14, I did get the knowledge, because from transition out of LG from 117 Academy, I went there.
Wow. Shout out to my brother Big Fruit, LG and the LG always.
LG, went
Yeah.
to LG.
LG, rock on. You gotta say that.
Yeah,
Mr.
rock
C,
on.
Mr. C. Yes. Rest in peace to
Exactly.
Mr. C.
88 Precinct, Pratt.
Easy
all
Mo
that
B.
was up.
Yeah.
I went to 117 Academy over there, and so I got the 5% Nation lessons from leaving there, going into Martin Luther King High School in Manhattan off of 66.
Right.
So that's when I really started acknowledge, because when I was a young age, brother Doggie Diamond, as much as I understood the dozens when I got older, but back in our young days, around my 7th or 8th years of age, around Atlantic Terminal, because I moved to Atlantic Terminals around while I was 8. Used to get teased a lot from my friends, from Deneen and all them used to tease me and all that. Everybody, because of my black skin and all that, but also not feeling that I was loved by my family, because you had family members that would tease you too. So at 8, I almost took my life, Doug.
For real?
Took my life because of being teased and not feeling that. And it wasn't too much of the friends outside. It was just not feeling loved by, because in Jamaica you have classism also.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
So,
See, real quick, King Simon,
yes,
because
sir.
this, we're going to go back. I want to revisit that
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I identify as FBA, as you know,
Yeah,
although
that's cool.
I don't discriminate against nobody, right?
That's right. That's right.
But you being in America, when you go home to your people, they say you're what? Americanized, right?
Yeah, call me a Yankee and call me all of that.
But they're telling you what? You're acting black, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But they acting like a Yankee or acting foreign.
But who is the
Acting like
people who they telling you acting like? Foundational Black Americans, right?
they tell because of what they are been promoted in Jamaica.
Exactly.
America. Just
So I
like-
wanted to have that point because a lot of y'all who come from other places, when y'all go to your place of origin, they tease you and tell you acting like Black Americans.
did.
That's crazy. We'll come back to that. We'll come because that's very, very critical for
And
the
I've been to
audience.
it. And like
Yeah.
I said, I still got the marking on my wrist when I almost did it.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that was hard on me. A lot of that don't. And I heard somebody on TAD and them, talking about it, but they don't really how it affect young people, because they used to say sticks and stones will break your bones, but neighbor
No,
never hurt you.
it
But
does
that's
hurt.
not true.
It does
If you
hurt.
constantly promote and push certain things on children, it will hurt them,
Right.
and it will carry along especially in their formative years. Now, when I got into my 13th, I was jonesing back at everybody else on the
Right,
bus
right,
and all
right,
that.
right.
I'm making people spit up their juice on the bus.
Right,
I was
right.
funny too.
Right.
But as a child, if you don't feel that you're loved, not just from your friends, and although they was joking, then your family doing the same thing, bringing their own classism from Jamaica to here and calling you Black and this and that, or your own sisters or your own cousins, because I was the darkest boy in my family.
Wow.
So that's why they tease me and all that. But, once I got the lessons of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad through the 5%, who was the original man, that was it.
So all right, so I gotta ask you, because you said something just now. Woo. You said you got the lessons of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad through the 5%.
5%
Now, you do have some gods that admit that it comes from the honorable Elijah Muhammad,
They have to.
but they want to say it was Allah's mind that brought it to the. I heard some weird stuff recently, bro.
It has changed.
It's getting a
over
little
years.
weird. It's getting a little weird.
It has changed over years. I still have the original lessons, what I was given in paper, because they used to give us in paper form first. So even people like Brother Ramza, the elder from back in the day, who used to make the jewelry for Malcolm X, he gave me lessons and plus lessons and all that, even when I was in the Nation of Islam. So, but I have some of my lessons that I just lost a whole bunch of them in my art, in my
Storage.
in my storage. But but they've changed. A lot of things have changed over years in the 5%.
What was your first degree you got?
Of course, who was the original man? 1 to 10.
Okay.
You got the 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 36, and you got plus degrees about the letters and the cards and all that. We got all kinds of stuff. I can't remember everything, but I know back in the day, if you didn't know it, you had to get a beat down.
You was getting your ass whooped. So what was your attribute back then? You remember?
I was born divine king God Allah.
Wow, that's a long.
Yeah,
That's a long attribute.
Yeah. So I understood king already, but
Right.
I started studying that. I wasn't even calling myself King Simon at a certain point until after the reggae clubs, and they was called, in the reggae community, the Rastas always call you king. Yo, Wagwan king, Wagwan queen.
Yeah.
So I took that on after doing my stint at SOBs, running SOBs nightclub and all that stuff back in the day.
So all right. The mix up would be because the gods,
Yes.
Nation of Islam, Hebrews, Moors,
Yes, sir.
renegade gods,
That's right.
non-temple Moors,
Ansars and
Ansars.
Nubian,
This
Hebrews,
is who
Nuwapians.
makes up this conscious community.
Yes.
The metaphysical brothers. This is who we're talking about in this. So that's why I'm bringing y'all through this with all of these people.
And I've been a part of all of them. Most of them I've been a part of.
But that's why I brought you here, because you have been in the real, what we look at is the conscious community, and you know a lot of these people personally,
Yes, I
and
do.
promoted them and put money in their pocket.
Yes.
So when you're God, How do you leave the Nation of Gods and Earths to go into the mosque now?
Well, it wasn't hard. Because one thing what's so interesting about that, brother? I left from the 5% into the Ansar Allah community on Bushra.
Oh, so you didn't go to the NOI first?
Not immediately after the Ansar, I went back to the NOI. Yes, I went to that lessons after that. But I still, because Dr. York, who was calling himself Imam Isa,
Eastside at the time.
was so good at the publications that he put out in defense of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but yet still disrespecting him in another way. So he knew how to articulate it in his own way. He was an excellent writer. He was a very good writer.
Them scrolls is important, man. Them scrolls.
Yeah. And he had a very good research team. He wasn't doing it by himself. Those women and certain men, and I know a few of the women, that was his research, his wives and a few of the people, that was his research team. That was deeply into going into the library, cross-referencing what he was doing with the Arabic, because we were learning Arabic, Hebrew, Greek. We was learning all of that in the Ansar Allah community. After I left the 5%, so I went into the Ansar around 84.
Damn.
So I was about 16, 17 years of age, and I basically ran away from my mother because, my father had already left, and he was in and out from my age of 8. And then being in a household full of women, my mother's side had majority women. Father's side had majority men. So you're always looking for that manhood thing.
Right.
And it was the 5% that gave me that first inkling of what I needed as far as man, other than the music and listening to a Bob Marley or Burning Spear and all these great people that I eventually started working with as I got into the reggae world. But I needed that, and I left my mother and ran away to Jamaica, to the West Indies, to live with my grandfather, who lived to 103, to get that male energy and male bond again.
Right, that you need, that we all need.
And I need it. So innately, men know what they need. So even instead of me joining the gangs, when they try to step to me to join the Jolly Stompers, not the Jolly Stompers, the Young Skulls back in the day.
Right.
And I understood, me and Trevor Douglas, big up to Trevor, me and him was close friends from 316. Then we moved over to Atlantic Terminal. But around 316, they wanted us to join the Baby Skulls. And because we knew our parents would not allow us to come running out that house, going beating up on people and fighting each other like we was in the movies, The Warriors and all those.
But I want the audience to know the Education of Sonny Carson is real. That's not a fake movie.
Yes, the Education of Sonny Carson
is real. Yes.
So I went through that. And we had to leave 316 public school over there around the corner from Jewish Hospital and jump over fences to get away from the gang initiations.
What would we call that area? Is that Crown Heights? Is that Crown Heights? That's Crown Heights. Yeah, that's Crown Heights.
Where born.
I was born in the same hospital. Nas was born in the hospital too. You know that, right?
Who?
Nas.
Get out of here, Nas.
Nas is from Brooklyn. Nas lived on what's the main street over there? I forget.
Washington, Nostrand.
No, the main street up the Eastern Parkway. Nas from he was born on Eastern Parkway.
And you know what's so funny? My grandmother was a nurse for Cumberland Jewish Hospital and St. Mary's. So she was there when Michael Jordan was born, Mike Tyson, Spike Lee, all of them were born.
Cumberland became Brooklyn Hospital, right?
Yes. And my mother, no, Brooklyn Hospital was around another hospital, because that Brooklyn Hospital is right on DeKalb.
Right. So Cumberland was
a little further on Cumberland.
Okay, Avenue. Right. Yeah, that's what I used to always get them mixed up.
Right.
So,
and my grandmother was a midwife, and she delivered a lot of babies. I don't even remember if she told me who she delivered, but I know she did.
So you go into the Ansar Law community.
Yes, I did. After the 5%.
Did you live with them?
I lived in the community.
So yeah, they used to call it the tab. I remember dudes like, I'm going to the tab. I'm going to the
tabernacle
tab.
The tents of Kedar. It became the Nubian Islamic Hebrew. So I was there during that time until 1988. I left in 88.
Damn. So you was there with Jazzo was there?
Yeah, I remember when Jazz came through. Jazzo, I met
KMD
Bam coming through there. I met
MF
Jimmy
Doom.
Cliff.
You know who MF Doom is?
Who?
MF Doom. That's KMD.
He came through, but I didn't know them. In fact, they would know me from the pizza parlor because I used to make the pizza.
The wheat pizzas, right?
I used to be one of the pizza makers. Yes,
right. The wheat pizza.
With my brother Eunice, who's big up to Eunice. He's still.
So you said Bambada was there.
Bambada came through. I met Ted Mills, Jimmy Cliff, Gary Bloodsaw. I recorded my first reggae song at York Studio across the street from the temple.
Wow.
because I was still pursuing reggae and I was winning contests online while I was working on the restaurant. I was calling into WNWK, or what was called WHIB back in the day when the Supreme Team was on there.
Right,
I was
right,
calling
right.
in on the reggae stations, winning. And when I left the community, the guy that was on the reggae station produced my first song after I did a song with Dr. York, but we never released that because they wanted me to open up for Dr. York, as he named my group called Zion. And then he had Passion.
Right. I
To
remember
Zion
he.
Passion. So he named my reggae group Zion.
What
And
does what did
and
that
we had
mean?
Zion means, going back to Zion, the land. He was trying to deal with the
What he
reggae
eventually did
side.
with Tamaray later on.
Right, right. So
Okay. Yeah.
Zion was like going back to the land, Pa Zion. It's like Pan African, but it was Pa Zion, going back to Zion, the world of the land of. But he did Passion back in the day. Big up to the Passion crew from back in those days. Yeah.
So okay. So you living on the land.
No, I didn't live in the land. I only lived in the
No,
community.
I meant the community. I
Bushwick.
meant the community. I
Never
meant the
joined. I never
community.
joined
Right
the
on,
land.
so on Hart Street. It was on Hart Street.
Yeah, on Hart Street.
On Hart Street.
Avenue.
Hart Street and Bushwick Avenue. You said you seen Jazzo there. You never saw Jay-Z there, right?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that. I knew Yakub Jacob York. He was me and him
Jacob,
still
yeah.
talk to this day. I knew his his brother Yad, who got
Rested-
killed, and his twin sister. I just talked to his twin sister recently on the phone because she's a friend of mine that live in Germany. So I know all of them when we was young. Ishmael, all of them who's working.
I'm surprised you don't know
I know
my
all of
friend Sharon. Sharon was there.
Depends of.
I'm gonna
what's
show
the
you a
name?
picture because he got shot with Yad when Yad got killed. He was there.
When the guy got killed, that same.
He got
yeah,
shot
yeah.
up too. They got shot
And
together.
I would know. Who
You
he
would definitely
is.
know
If
who
I
he
see
is.
his picture, you gotta
He
show me
was
his
the
picture.
first person that came around the way and was like showing, breaking down the dollar bill and talk about Washington. I was like, man, what the hell are you talking about?
I came around to work and helped Sylvester because Sylvester was going through. Remember Crystal Bivens?
Shit.
Crystal brother Sylvester.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
helped him to get into the community because he was going
Wow.
through a lot, the smoking and the drinking and all that. And I came and started teaching him right there at Atlantic Terminals.
Wow.
Brought him in, and now he's married and in Detroit doing his thing. Big up to Sylvester, man, my good brother. Talk to him all the time.
So okay, so you in there? Did you ever see anything? Because what made you leave? What made you leave the community?
I left not first of all, Dr. York. I've never seen under Imam Isa because it was Islamic discipline. I never seen all the madness that happened going into the 90s. And remember, I left in '88.
Okay.
Never. So even when I went into the studios, I met Sarah Dash there. Big up to Sarah Dash. I think she had just passed on. I met, Tony Marshall, who was my studio engineer in the house right across, not the big studio that they built after that, the Hall of Knowledge. But I never seen any madness there at that time. You hear about women chasing Doc and women being with Doc, but you don't hear about children and all that madness, because I know with great power comes great responsibility. And a lot of women like chasing power. Some women would join communities just to be under power like that.
Right.
And I understood that. But I left the community after I left the pizza parlor and went back on the street. They shipped me because they used to ship you. If you wasn't one of those guys that made a lot of money for that community at that time, they'll ship you to another community. So I got shipped to Philly, then went to Cleveland, then came back to Philly. And that's where I left in 1988.
What made you leave?
They put me on house arrest because the guy, what's so funny? The guy that was the imam of that community, because Dr. York never mistreated me. That's why I never have nothing bad to say to him, and I never seen anything crazy with him. But the imams under him, I think he passed on by now, in Philly, he didn't like me because I used to, always tease him and his name was Haroom, and I used to call him Haram. And we used to always joke. I was, like I said, I was a little comedian back in the day because I had to learn how to defend myself. When they used to joke on me, I joke back now. But Haroom, he used to, because I went to New York to go make my money and I didn't make it back to the community, he put me on house arrest to stand 12-hour security without going out to make money at that time I was married. I had a wife. She was, she was pregnant and I wanted to be able to, he didn't allow me to do that. So I told my wife, I said, at that time, big up to her. She's still alive, married and doing her thing. We had only one child. I said, my father said he's willing to pay for an apartment in Brooklyn and he'll help me out. But she didn't leave because she had her own family that was there, her immediate family, her mom, her brothers was there. So I understood that. So I left, and my son was born in '89 in that community. Big up to Prince Imagine. That's my son. He's a singer and studio producer. So I left not because of any madness. I left because of how I was treated by the imam over there in Philadelphia.
So then you joined the NOI.
I joined the NOI end of '89, going into '90. Yep.
What?
I went
So
right
where
into
did
it.
you join the NOI at? What state were you in?
New York, baby, 7, Temple number 7, brother, under Khalid and Conrad, and
Conrad.
Kevin was there at that time.
Shout out to Minister Conrad Tillard. I was
Yeah.
just watching a video on him 2 days ago. I
Yeah,
promise
brother,
you.
man. I
Yeah.
got his number. I call him every now
I
and then.
actually seen him on Nostrand Avenue one day.
Yes.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, Conrad Muhammad. He was like, I'm not a part of the nation no more.
Yeah,
I go
he's not
by.
in the NOI
Right.
now.
But
he's good, brother.
sharp.
He still got the information. I
So
love him.
you
I
was
love him.
under Dr. Khalid and Conrad?
Because Khalid remember, he was a national representative at that time. And then Conrad was coming in and came in as the minister. Minister Kevin or Minister Hafiz was jumping back and forth because he was like the emergency minister. When people drop out, he was coming in. When people drop, Khalid went somewhere, he took over. And then Conrad was initiated in. Boom, he was there. I was there with Captain Dennis, also the great Captain Dennis, who still doing his thing. He was just on the People's Podcast the other day with my brother Joshua. So yeah, I was there while during that time.
That's where I saw Joshua Muhammad. That's where I saw Joshua Muhammad. That's where I saw the Conrad Tillard thing.
That was good.
That's right. I watch his channel too. I watch everything.
That's my brother, man.
Yeah,
That's my brother.
yeah.
He's out here in Georgia too, man. So big up to him and his
So
father.
all right. So it's you've been in. So the nation. What was the Nation of Islam experience like?
Man, it was a beautiful experience. You get your jealousies in every community, and because I'm a person that's always propelled to the top, like I'm always connected to the leaderships all the time. I was connected to Doc through Dr. York, of course, when I was there because I did music and all that. And then you got the security around Doc that didn't like me or disrespected or was jealous of me because he was giving me too much play. And then when you go into the nation, you got your protocols of private soldiers and lieutenants and, of course, captains and all that. But also, I was traveling back and forth to Canada because I was a reggae artist that time. Remember, I was number 5 on the chart in 1990 in reggae.
Wow.
Leaving out of that community because after I left the Ansar community, I did a recording at Philip Small Studio. Sting International was my producer because me and Sting grew up. Me, Sting, Shaggy, all of us grew up back in the 80s.
Right.
Doing this dancehall reggae. Then I joined the community around the crack era and all that in the Ansar community. And that saved my life. I can actually say the Ansarullah Islam period saved my life. 5%, all of that saved my life from going down that road. But the community was good. Minister Farrakhan never did me any wrong. Khalid gave me his direct number, and I brought him to Canada. If you go online right now to Khalid in Montreal, me and my team produced that lecture in Canada with Khalid in Montreal. And I only put up like 30 minutes of it on there. But the nation was a beautiful thing until I needed to leave to at least expand a little more. And that's when I left around 95, going into 96, after everybody got the Million Man March and all that. That's when I started going more into my production. That's when King Simon Productions was birthed in 95. So I'm celebrating 35 years this year. And that's when I started going into radio, WWRL, doing commercials for LIB. My voice was on Western Union and Guinness Stout. My voice was those voices that you heard, myself and David Levy, who was good friends.
Right.
Good friends from back in those days. So
rocking you. That's David Levy. That was you that said the rocking you?
No, that was him.
I'm about to say, I know that was David Levy. Yeah.
That was David. That was my man David.
So, okay. So you in the NOI. How do you, I don't know if you can tell this, but how do you become a member of the Nation of Islam?
Well, you have to first start going to classes and write your letter. There's a Savior's Day, a Savior's letter that we had to write, that everybody had to write. You had to write it exactly like how Master Farad Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to write the letter in script. Because I still can write script. If you look at the back of the board, I got script. I still can write script to this day very well, just because they promoted the script of writing cursive. And that's how you had to write the letter exactly the same way. And that's how. And then we had to learn the lessons, the 1 to 10, all the supreme wisdom and all that kind of stuff. We had to learn that. But the letter was the one that got us our X when it came back to us. Yep.
So you get an X.
Right.
So you don't get so when do you get a Muhammad? That's what I always wanted to know.
That's what, they gave us all of Muhammad around 95, but Muhammad comes at different intervals of time. And usually the minister gives somebody that might be deserving of that Muhammad at a certain time, like one of his ministers might get a Muhammad, all that. Because remember, Muhammad means one worthy of praise or one praiseworthy. So you don't just get a Muhammad because of the power of that name. Even in numerology, there's a power behind that name when I started doing the math to it. When I started doing the mathematics, and I know mathematics is Islam and Islam is mathematics. So when I started doing the math of it, even I see why he just don't dish out and give out Muhammads.
Oh, so everybody don't get a Muhammad? I thought everybody get a
No,
Muhammad.
not immediately like that.
Wow. You just taught us something because I didn't know that.
No, not everybody gets a Muhammad. It's required that you have done something and served a greater prayer, one worthy of praise, one who is praiseworthy. That means you have done your work for a certain amount of time to receive a Muhammad.
So his name is really actually Minister Louis Farrakhan Muhammad, right?
The messenger gave him the Muhammad last.
He does have the Muhammad. Okay, I just wanted to know that.
Back in those days, they got Muhammads. Back in those, after a certain time, you reach a certain status.
Right.
Because remember, Malcolm X's spiritual name, El Hajj Malik Shabazz, was given to by the Elijah Muhammad. Gave him that name, Malik Shabazz. He gave him that name.
You serious?
A lot of people don't even know that and realize. And he never changed the name even when he was going through that with the messenger.
So everybody thought that was the name he took on when he got when he left the nation.
Because the teachings of Shabazz is only under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching.
The Lost Tribe of Shabazz. Wow.
The Lost Tribe of Shabazz. It can't be. You got to remember, Malcolm went to Mecca years before.
Twice. That was his second time going.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was his second time going.
Exactly. So we gotta study and really.
Yeah, we gotta cut it out.
Muhammad, he be dropping it, and Dr. Ali Muhammad, they be dropping it. They be going back into it, and we were studying it because I was studying to be a minister at one time. That's why I was going back and forth and big up to brother Arthur, Minister Arthur, and Minister Henry in Brooklyn.
That's security.
I was in ministry class with them.
Right.
I was in ministry class with brother Henry. So I'm so proud of what he's doing right now.
You talking about brother Arthur, the security?
We used to do. Me and Arthur used to do security.
You did security for Tupac. We'll get into that.
Me and brother Arthur.
Yeah,
together.
we'll get into that after Tupac guys shot. We'll get into that.
Yes, sir.
So okay, you done took us through 5%. Ansar Allah community.
Ansar Allah, right.
Nation of Islam.
That's right.
Did you explain why you left the nation? Do you ever? I know you. Right. You didn't really leave the Nation of Islam because you still follow the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I still keep the lessons and the discipline because even when I left the nation, I went back into the club life because remember, promotion is what I grew up with. So I went back into promoting through radio. I had my own television show on C-SPAN. I had it on at public access also called Caribbean Soul TV. It was one of the first programs on C-SPAN. So I had my own TV show and everything going on out there with my cousin and my cousin to my friend to my cousin Greg Winters and Rob West. They was my producers, and I was interviewing everybody. I interviewed Queen Mother Moore, son. So it was, but I couldn't shine the way I wanted to shine in the nation. So after 95, I gradually just faded myself out, but yet kept a connection with the brothers and sisters in the nation, had their numbers. I could call every one of them up to this day. So I was able to still filter in and filter out because even my martial arts trainers from back in the 90s, 89, 90s are high up in the nation right now, from Brother Chris, Chief Professor Chris, and Aziz, who I had on the show, interviewed him like a few weeks ago, Aziz Muhammad, who's now one of the assistant supreme captains under Mustafa. So I could still call them on the phone and let them know if I'm all right. And these brothers will still come and help me out if I need their help.
Right. Yeah, you
privately.
You don't want them pulling up on you.
You don't want the certain people,
right.
Because in the nation back in the day, they had the death angels or the angels of death.
Right.
These are brothers that's just on the street.
Right.
And let me tell you something. When I knew that I had so much integrity and had so much respect for those for in the nation, is when one of them rolled up on me in LA when I went to LA for the first time, and he just came up on me. I didn't even see him walk up. He said, "Assalamu alaikum." I turned. I said, "Oh." I won't even say his name because I know him as this name, but I know he uses many names. But these are brothers that you don't. These are the ones that will kill for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad back in the day because he's that old. for Minister Farrakhan today, that if they're activated, that's it. But they call the angel of death or the death angels. That's a whole nother thing. I don't even know all of their names. So they change and they do
because
what they gotta do.
because I be trying to tell people the minister be saving y'all. He ignores a lot of y'all.
I try to tell these guys.
If he said, listen, no, for real, he ignores a lot of the chatter.
I
He
get
ignores
calls,
it.
yo. I
He
get
ignores
calls. I
the
know
chatter because if he say go, it's going to get dark for a lot of people.
That's why it was different under the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm than it is under the minister.
Right.
Although the minister still have it in his heart. Remember, the minister is more spiritual.
Right.
Especially being born under the frequency he's born under. Malcolm was more, and the messenger together was like, yo, because he was the one that trained the FOI.
Yeah, they was establishing that they had to be militant in certain things as well.
And a lot of people got the nerve to say that they only killed black folks. No, y'all just don't know.
Right. They had some run-ins with police. They had run-ins with police too.
Running with police, running with the mafia, all of that, brother, back in the day. And that's why when you said you had to take the heads of 4 devils in the lessons, who was the devils that they called back in the day? Y'all got to remember, it wasn't black folks calling it, they was calling devils. They was calling, and some people would bring 4 devils' heads to certain places.
But that's all we're going to talk about with that.
You wouldn't even know that. Yeah. Because I can't go into that because I know the elders that passed on. I know them, and they was well-trained men. Matter of fact, Brother Ramza, who passed on, was the one that beat up 5 cops back in the day. Mm-hmm. And then went into, him and Melchizedek went into prison and changed the whole eating regimen of serving porks to Muslims and all that. He was the one that changed that throughout the whole nation.
So let me ask you something. What was the difference between the lessons of the 5% that you got and the lessons that you got with the NOI?
Well, you know what's so funny? The supreme wisdom lessons of the nation, they really refined and tightened it up and make sure they didn't give us all the extra plus lessons like they did in the 5%, where we was breaking down cards or we was breaking down letters and we was breaking down A represents this, alpha A for Allah.
The alphabets,
B, we ain't get about the supreme alphabets. We ain't get into all of that. The messenger kept it real direct and focused. And I'm sure he didn't mind the offshoots because you had to get to the babies. And even in the lessons of the 5%, it said you had to go back to the temple. You had to go.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of them are still undisciplined.
The discipline.
They're still smoking and drinking and doing all the things.
So listen.
God, and that's it.
So I heard this from Papa Wu, a.k.a. Freedom Allah.
Big up to Papa Wu.
Rest in peace to Freedom Allah. He told me in an interview, because I said, bro, how is it that dudes came out of the temple and was calling themselves God and they were 5%ers, but the Father would send them back in the temple? He said because he used to send them back for the discipline. They was in the streets undisciplined. So he would say, nah, you got to go back in the temple. Yeah. You got to go back. He would send them back. So
the discipline was necessary.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, with the FOI was training also martial arts. That's the fruit of Islam. That's the military training of the men. So we was back in those days, as I learned from people like Dr. Powell, Moses Powell, who was also one of the trainers, talking to him in conversation. I was never in a major class with him because you had to be a black belt back in those days. But me and him had conversation to the point I used to tell him, yo, you need to write your book. And he always used to say, Simon, there's certain things I cannot write about. Straight up. Because they trained how to fight, deal with attack dogs, all of that.
Right.
Batons, anything that was coming at us from military or police. That's why he was also instructing certain people in that realm too back in the day. Him, Master Duncan, and a whole lot of them. But yeah, you couldn't. The FI was well trained, and they're still well trained. But back in those days, because of what we was going through in the 60s,
militant,
and all that, they was real. You wouldn't want to mess with a fruit of Islam or an MGT even back in those days. Although the fruit will come after you, period, nonstop. Because I'm calling your brother, your cousin Tad. Brother Doggie
That's
Diamonds.
My cousin. Yeah, it don't matter.
Cousin,
yeah.
That's your cousin.
Same
love,
person.
Love Tad. That's my brother, man.
Yep.
And Keisha, big up to Keisha. She just
shout out to Sister Keisha. Yep.
Let me tell you, it's something about the Nation of Islam, not the Sunni Islam or Ahmadiyya, but there's something about that Nation of Islam when it brought that foundational,
that black Islam.
that Black Islam, foundation of Black Islam to the forefront. Let's put it like that, because that's the new saying now, foundation of Black America. Let's say, because the messenger was from Sandersville, Georgia. But bringing that, Malcolm, half Grenadian, half foundation of Black. So you gotta think, when we was taught Allahu Akbar, which means Allah is the greatest, when we're attacked, when we say Allahu Akbar, to this day, if I'm getting into a fight or somebody attack me, I'm going to say Allahu Akbar, and everything changes right there.
I heard about you,
know
Simon.
if I'm going to stop or when I'm going to
I
stop.
heard about you, Simon.
Don't say nothing, bro. Keep it focused.
I heard you got a mode that you go in, that you learned in the nation.
Yes,
that when it's up, it's up.
It's up. It's up.
It's up. So, okay, let me ask you something. You also was on Flatbush Avenue when Worlds Collide.
Yes, sir.
You was there. That's where the dojo was at. That's where I remember the dojo, because they had a store next to it, and I used to always want to buy the military outfits and stuff like that, because we thought we were the police. Yeah, we wanted to buy a lot of that stuff. Yeah. What role did that? Let's go to a Worlds Collide, and I'm gonna bring you back to the nation for 1 second. What Worlds Collide? What did that do for your life?
That was synonymous with the nation, because
it was. See, I didn't know that.
The owners was part of the nation. Anthony Muhammad, who is called GM Abdul Aziz right now, who is the assistant captain over there under Minister Farrakhan, he was the proprietor, alongside people like Brother Shabazz was also partnerships in that. And,
brother, yeah, I know Brother Sharp. I love Brother Shabazz.
Oh, he's still training. We all still training. So I know you don't mess with Shabazz at his events. That's my brother Shabazz. I sent them this link to watch.
I heard he's one of the ones with the martial arts.
Oh yes, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
Yes, 5%, and he's 5%, and he was working with the Nation of Islam brother like GM Anthony. So they was family. They grew up together. Everybody grew up together.
Brother Shabazz is sharp too. Sharp.
Good brother, man. Good brother. I love him. He saved my life recently, and I gotta thank him, man.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. So, okay, now, dealing with the conscious community right now, we have some brothers,
yes, sir,
who, shout out to my bro, Wesley Muhammad, who I think is deplatformed. Yes. I think he's deplatformed.
Right.
So I have an interview with him that I can't even post. They won't even let me, they'll take it down.
Right. I just texted him, and I'm supposed to be doing something with him in September, because he's very busy. Him and Nuri, I'm trying to get back on.
I got a Nuri interview that I never put out, but this is how real it is with my brother Wesley Muhammad.
Yeah, I got all of his books.
Wesley Muhammad. I got Nuri book over there.
Yes, I do. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Wakil. I got Wakil Allah, peace to him.
Yes,
we have dudes calling themselves Muslim gods. Yes. And that is causing a big problem within the community. What is your take on the Muslim God?
I have no problem with it, because Muslim means one who submits to peace. And in the nation, we was taught that we are, the original man is God. Have no problem if it's in its proper context. Have no problem with it in its proper context, because there is a contextual side of being Muslim, because in the lessons you still talk about it says Muslim. It don't even say Muslim. It says Muslim. So you gotta know what you're doing here. Mm-hmm. But Muslim being one who is of peace and being God, I have no problems with that, as long as they're not disrespecting the tenets of Islam and the tenets of the original tenets of the 5% nation, because it does go back to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and W.D. Fard.
Well, a lot of the brothers in the Nation of Gods and Earth have a problem with them calling themselves Muslim gods, because they'll say, we're not Muslims. We was the gods. Y'all was the Muslims. So if we was the gods, why y'all trying to take our thing?
But it's, again, a lot of changes, man, because, again, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man.
Make it on the cream of planet Earth,
God of the universe. So we are that.
Father of civilization. Mm-hmm. Right.
So, again, we're getting too sensitive now. Everything has gotten too overly sensitive now. It's overly sensitive when you could put everything in its right perspective. You could be God and you could be Muslim. You're all of it. If you're God, you're all of it. That's why Khalid used to speak about, I don't want to own just America. I don't just want to own Africa. The world is ours as melanated people. And we sat in the world as our throne to rule the whole universe, 76 quintillion miles of it. So I had no problems with that lesson. That was a lesson that was taught. So we know that regardless if I call myself FDA or Caribbean or African, no, we are the original man of all of this.
That's true.
Everything else is political, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true. That's true.
That's all I'm concerned. And I just don't want people to disrespect each other. I know, they calling each other this and that and tethers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I never took part in that.
Yeah,
I don't
just know who's it, because the word tether means an animal tied and bond to something, literally. So if you go into the root and you go into word and you go into etymology, but everybody don't want to do the etymology. Everybody don't want to do DNA.
It gets spooky when they go to the etymology.
They don't want to go there.
Right.
It's just like the word consciousness. We know the word consciousness, going back to the original of the word, is concierge, which means privy, or it means knowing or doing the right thing, or at least I always got my stuff written down. Being aware of wrongdoing. That's what the word consciousness comes from. The root of it. Concierge. Now you're going to etymology. Now you're going to Latin. Now you're going back. You find that there's denotative and there's connotative. That's why they took our language. They took our language. They took our foreways, our mores, and our norms. And that's how they was able to take us down in the indigenous cultures, take us down in the African, take us down in the cat, because they took that stuff away from us. They know what they was doing. So you have to go back to the root of things, because it's leading you back. And then if that's that word that means that, just consciousness, community, of course, common unity, but we know community means a group of people living in the same place. There's never been a conscious community like that as what we're dealing with now. That's why I understand the question that you're posing on this line. There's never been a conscious everybody living together. We don't have that type of unity. Ansar did it. Some of the Nation Islam have done it. People, the Hebrew Israelites under Ben Amin and Yahweh Ben Yahweh has done it. They have done that common unity, but sometimes in certain areas and certain leaders, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right.
And they start doing and abusing things.
And heavy is the head that wears the crown.
And that's funny that you said that, because I got the original meaning of that goes back to this. I got it right here. The original meaning, heavy is the head that wears a crown, is a misquote. It comes from William Shakespeare, Henry IV play, and it says, uneasy is the head that wears the crown.
So I'm just regurgitating some bullshit then.
Some bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't never saying that again. Send me that. Send me that too, because I'm gonna need that.
I'll
Text me.
Send it to you right
Send it to me. Yeah. All right. So you also we got registered Sincere. Shout out to you, Sincere. I didn't even know you was a registered member of the FOI. Shout out to you. Assalamu alaikum. So we have, you said Muslim in the lessons. That start getting a little tricky, because now we start have brothers who say, y'all got that from Noble Drew Ali. What's your knowledge on that?
Well, you got to remember, Muslim, you can't negate the connection between the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and also Noble Drew Ali of that time. You know what I'm saying? You never negate that connection. Of course, in the Nation, they said he was never a part of it. I don't know that personally. And then you got people in because I've studied with the brothers Tariq and Tariq Bey. I've studied with Asir. I've studied with all those brothers, those great brothers, and they said that he was a part of it, because he had the fairs and the whole thing and the whole, Also, he was studied Masonics. He studied under that, and I understand in that era what you had to do in order for you to maintain certain things in that era. But I personally don't know if the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because we was never taught that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was there, but I heard it. I've never disputed, never argued with people about it. Because there is similarities.
The temple similarity.
Yeah, everything is similarity.
Yeah.
It's just that Elijah Muhammad took it to a whole nother level beyond Noble Drew Ali, and I show respect to Noble Drew. I quote Noble Drew Ali in my book also. I quote him in all Messenger, all of them I quote in my books. I have to, because they all had lessons in their own respect that helped all of us along the way, even to
Why we here
Garvey and all of
today?
that.
Yeah, why we here today?
Why we're here today. That's right.
Okay. Let's get to the above question now. I wanted to qualify you. That's why I did that. People, bear with me. I just wanted to qualify. King Simon has been through many different schools of thought.
Yes, sir.
Many people I bring before here, I don't grill them enough. I know a little bit of them. I know King Simon personally, so a lot of it was rhetorical, but I needed y'all to know, right? Has the conscious community failed us? Now, community, they took it from a physical and started saying the community was mental.
Right. That's what they did.
The first time I ever heard conscious community came from the elder Bobby Hemmett. That's the first time I heard those words, conscious community. Somebody could have said it before him. It could have came before him, but that's the first time I heard it.
Right.
When's the first time you heard conscious community?
I heard that it was started by the word that came out through Steve Biko. That's what I heard. You know, that go if you Google that, you'll find that Steve Biko was one of them that talked about conscious community. You know, but at that back in the day, because remember I was going to UAM, you know, with Dr. Khalid, we was rolling on with them and doing security for them, Doc, wherever he went before he left the nation and all of that. So we was going to those different things with Ultimatics, and even then they didn't call it a conscious community,
Right.
because we know, you know, again that word consciousness is funny because you know every living entity has a consciousness.
Right. Again, roach. A roach got conscious. Yeah. We said the same thing. A roach at the same time. Yeah.
Cockroach got conscious. A spider. Yo, let me tell you something before we move on. A spider outside of my house here in Georgia seen me near the mailbox, and I was trying to swipe and it got away. The next morning, did you know he built a web as big as enough to hold me?
Wow.
That Negro got a consciousness.
Right.
Big ass spider.
Right.
He swung from the mailbox to the trees and created this big web.
Right.
So imagine if we go back into time, or if there was bigger spiders, what would be happening to this day? You know what I'm saying? So going back, so again, I'm very leery. I stopped using that conscious community, and Dr. Valentine liked that I call it the conscientious community, which is dealing with what we're doing online. We're trying to do what's right.
Integrity,
the code of ethics and code. Remember, I was producing events about code of conduct and all that stuff with Professor Griff, Irritated Genie, all of these guys. So when you say the conscious community fell, some over the years have failed, but not everybody has failed.
Did it create too many personalities and not enough works?
Yes, it did. No doubt. It did. You got to remember, I was a promoter. I am a promoter. I'm born to promote. And I'm never going to regret being a good promoter because people paid me to promote. And people were smart enough, like a polite, was smart enough to say, yo, meet me at his house and say, yo, King, I know you're good at what you do. I would like to invest in your promotional flyers. My family would give out a portion of the flyers. You do your thing. I taught him about Blog Talk, all of that, because he understood that to latch on. It's just like an opening act that want to open up for a big act. Some of them will pay to be on that stage. And he did. And that's why I had him open up. It wasn't because of he was the greatest speaker on anything else. I had him open up because he was, out of all of the speakers, majority of the speakers, he was the one that was willing to put his family on the line to give out flyers for me and pay for half of the venue sometimes, or pay for the spot. And then if I paid for the spot and he paid for the flyers, he would give my staff food, because remember, he made sure he cooked the food sometimes. He had his book, and he also, so not too many speakers did that.
So how do you
waiting for the honorarium and all that stuff?
So how do you feel that people point the finger at you for? So they say if it wasn't for King Simon, Polite wouldn't been here running amok. That's your fault. How do you feel about that?
That's part true and part false. Why? Because that man was packing houses while he was in the Nuwapian. He was already doing it. You could ask Blue Pill, you could ask anybody. He was packing houses way before I even met him, because I didn't meet him until 2009. And when one of the elders, I don't know if you remember the Reverend that used to come to our lectures, always had that collar on. He passed on, Reverend Moon, big up to Reverend Moon. He connect me, said, yo, I'm thinking about this young brother. And I didn't know that Polite lived in his house. He was renting a room in his house. So he came to me and said, yo, I think you should put Polite on. And I didn't know who he was. And I said, all right, I'll check him out and go to a store. At that time, he was renting a storefront from Imam Isa's brother, Dr. Yo's brother, Oba. Oba telling me, yo, he's a good brother. These are elders telling me. So I always respect my elders. And then last but not least, Sabi knew him. So I had him open up for Dr. Sabi. I got the flyer right here to prove that I had. And Sabi didn't want nobody else to speak, because on that flyer, I had Bam on it. At that time, before he was accused of his madness, I had Dr. Jeffries on it. And on the flyer, Polite was on it also. And that's the only person Sabi allowed, because Sabi knew him from somewhere else. And he ran into him in the bathroom and said, yo, you're a bad man, bro. Sabi loves Polite. That's why if you've seen old commercial clips, he'd always say he showed love to Polite. Elders like him made me want to work with him.
So he was vetted through them, in your opinion?
And in my opinion.
And then they gave him to you?
No, he negotiated to work with me.
Right. Yeah, y'all did. It was a business transaction.
Right.
Okay, so
he was smart.
No, he was brilliant, but he was
before you move on, let me read something. In this book, you know, he did my forward.
Oh, go ahead.
Because he's the one that actually printed this book first. The No Promotion is Bad Promotion. And then when I was finished with him, I went to Dr. Africa, and he didn't go down the mad steps and go to California yet. But let me read to you what Polite said about me.
Go ahead.
And that's what proved to me that this brother respected. He says, a true promoter will help the person that they are marketing access potential that they never conceived of having. A true promoter will grant one the ability to confide on their own majestic spirit. A true promoter makes their clients more confident about themselves and their product. A true promoter is not limited in ideas and will never lie to you at the same time. A true promoter gives you constructive criticism to cultivate your spirit, not destructive criticism that incurs self-doubt and pity. A true promoter can get people to hone in on your talents and make those that bear witness confidence in the potential that you never knew that you had. A true promoter will empower the person or people that they promote and get others to believe in their vision almost at will. King Simon is a true promoter, and he is my inspiration too. Thank you, King Simon Production, from Nasut, Amun-Re, Senatumre, Brother Polite.
So,
with that being said, that I was the one that inspired him to promote the way he promoted.
So, with that being said, when did you realize he was full of shit?
When people started calling me about money.
I called you. Remember, I called you.
Me, Phil, numerous people, and I would get them on the phone, wouldn't I?
No, you did. Rest in peace to my brother, Granddaddy IU. He scammed Granddaddy IU. Right. Granddaddy IU was in my office about to blast him. I said, no, let's not do that. Because at that particular time, I still was dealing with a lot of the conscious brothers in the community. So I said, King Simon might be able to get a hold of him, because King Simon got everybody contact.
Everybody knows.
I called you. You three-wayed Polite.
That's right.
Polite got on the phone and he told Granddaddy IU, we was all on the phone. He told Granddaddy IU, yo, brother, I was looking for you. I was trying to get this. Yo, hit this number. Then he ghosted him. But Simon did put in that call. Polite may do so call on a promise, and he didn't.
But Doggie, I've done it for numerous people, and that's when. And at one point, a pregnant woman from out of Dominica. Was it from Dominica? Dominican Republic. She came to me and complained about Polite, and I called him. and say, yo, you got to get this money back to the sister. Sister's about to give birth and all that, boom, boom. Good for us. And she used to come out to my events all the time. So she came out to the events that when he was doing the real estate stuff and all that. You know, I never got too deep, and my son even got into it. One of my sons got into it, and he even lost some money, and Polite gave him back half his money. I said, no. I told my son, look, I'm gonna go get your half of your money, but you gotta, as a man, gotta go get the other half. Because y'all did that negotiation without contract and none of that. I'm not into the non-paperwork, so I never got into that real estate stuff. But I was watching it, and when too many people started, because I'm not one that I almost got on the screen and black. And let me tell you what happened. I was riding my bike and I started talking about Polite on my Facebook about him dealing with this person, this woman. And you know, Polite seen it on Facebook, called me and say, yo, King, please take that down. Take that down because I'm going to get her money. I'm going to help her out. Don't worry, but please take that down. And because he begged me, I took it down.
Was that wrong that you took it down? Do you wish?
Because I'm really not a man that just goes online and talk. But I was so upset, and I was riding my bike because you and I like to ride. We're bike riders.
Right.
We're bike riders, and that I felt for that lady, and I don't know if she ever got the money back or whatever, but I know I made the call a few times to get that money back for that lady because she was pregnant. She already had 4 children, and she was pregnant, bro.
So people would want to know, why didn't you ever publicly denounce him?
Because I was doing everything behind the scenes. Y'all know that. Everybody knew I was doing it behind the scenes. Because I'm not one of those people that go on public. I call you.
Right.
On the phone. I'm one of those old school brothers that will call you. I didn't publicly denounce it until we went on Sunnet and I'm saying, yo, I'm upset because this is what I don't promote pedophilia or beating and battering of women or girls.
Right.
Even Dr. York, as much as I loved and respect Dr. York, all the accusations, I wasn't around him at that time. I wasn't even around Polite because he was in California or Florida doing his madness. So and like I said on my last YouTube channel on King Simon Presents, I said I wish I would have become an investigator, conscious investigator. Because if I studied investigation, then I would be able to vet and find out people's stuff before time, at least. And that's why I wish I went down the road of. I knew some investigators, but they were so busy doing their thing. Big up to the late Abdul Kareem, my martial arts teacher, Soke Abdul Kareem from over there on Bedford Avenue in Fulton, from that masjid. And big up to Tawfiq, Dr. Shaka Zulu, who was also an investigator. But everybody's busy doing their thing. I personally we should have an investigating spiritual and physical investigation team.
But who would enforce that though?
We would have to have created a council to do that.
So all right. So now you also, in that same vein, crazily, Bambada was accused of the same thing Dr. York was accused of, as well as Brother Polite, and they all come from the Ansar Allah community. Strange as hell that is. Do with that as you wish.
As strange as
you
hell.
Also spoke to Bambada before.
Yeah, we was all at the National Black Theater. He used to come out to our events and support. He used to be at the Moorish meetings all the time with Ali Muhammad. All of us was there. Matter of fact, I got all the flyers and receipts to prove all of this. Y'all playing games. I got 2 photo albums with all of the receipts.
So when Bambada got accused, he said something to you because you spoke to Bambada. What did he say to you?
No, he never talked to me.
You told me that he said, Simon, they setting me up.
No, he spoke online to somebody and said, Simon, he's being set up. I'm being
okay. I thought he spoke to you directly. I thought he spoke to you directly.
It was Polite that says he was being set up.
Oh. Wow.
That's the one that called me.
Of course he's going to say he's being set up.
I called him, and there was another rap artist. I won't say the name because the brother, y'all know the brother, if I was on the phone, he called and put us on a 3-way, and he said he was being set up. That's what he said.
So it was a rap artist taken up for Bambada, you saying?
No, I'm talking about when Polite called. I'm talking about Polite, not Bam.
But it was a rap artist on the phone taken up for Bambada.
Who was calling Polite to find out what the hell was going on. We was all trying to find out what's going on with you, man.
Okay.
I called him and said, bro, what's this accusation of you doing this to a young girl? The girl is no older than your daughter at that time.
Right.
Your oldest daughter. It makes sense to me. So I called him immediately. He made the 3-way because he was already on the phone with that rap artist back in the day. And I won't even say names. I'm gonna say his name, and we was there trying.
I'll
to,
figure it out.
I know you'll figure it out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know there were certain rappers that was around him.
Right.
But I said to him, I said, "Yo, I'm not with that stuff, bro. I don't defend that kind of stuff, abuse or battery or pedophilia, none of that, bro. If you that, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not dealing with that. I won't deal with that because I've never put. I got daughters. I got granddaughters now. I got daughters, 3 daughters that I would, if they told me something went down like that, I would have to deal with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Let me
my
ask you a
granddaughter.
tough question.
Ain't nothing tough.
Ali Muhammad
Big up to my brother Ali.
at one point said on camera,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, somehow he felt like him and Bambada was a part of the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about having a sit down with him. They was going to call him and question him.
Right.
It never took place. Do you know why that never took place?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to get Ali on my Tuesday show.
Okay.
You know, he said he'll do it. But usually when Ali and Bambada did their thing, that was again men to men calling each other. You
But,
don't know.
but you don't get on camera and say you're gonna do something because that's when you came before the people now.
He came before the people.
You got to
That-
make
he
doing
should've
that
done
promise.
should've
Also,
done
another thing, somebody
He
said
may
in
have
the
done it.
somebody said something in the chat and it's real. I want to know why the pills were supposed to call a tribunal with polite. That never took place because they acting like they was gonna enforce something. But then he said, nah, 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 nah. I'ma tell y'all secrets if y'all tell mine. Why? What do you say to that?
When they was about to call, big up to the pills, when they was about to call that tribunal, I was right there while they was doing that talk. Right there. 'Cause remember, it was at BAM.
Mhm.
If you look at the background, it was right there, BAM. And I believe they wanted me to be a part of it, but I seen my son and my man Red Pill's son in the building. And I said, no, I'm gonna stay right here and listen. I'm gonna pay attention because I knew that if you're not gonna tell me who this tribunal of elders is, and I respect and I know most of the elders, I needed to hear from these elders also because these elders have my phone number. These people talk to me. And I'm not doubting that they didn't have the elders. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. But when Polite came and did the whole placebo thing strategically,
Smoked them.
knocking that thing out.
Smoked them.
They did smoke.
They smoked them and they pussied out. We gonna be honest. They pussied out.
I don't think they pussied.
No, they pussied out because he said,
not gonna
oh,
say that.
I'm going to say it. They pussied out because he said, hold on. Y'all been grifting too. Y'all ain't making do on y'all promises. Y'all not doing y'all deliveries. And then a light went off like, oh shit, we have been accused of some stuff too. So it was a finger pointing and 3 pointing back at you. I wasn't feeling that. And I'm going to be real with you and I'm going to be honest. I fell back from everybody when that happened.
I remember.
Because I seen the cowardice. I seen the cowardice in this. I seen the cowardice in this. Because dudes knew Polite was wrong. And I started seeing dudes getting jealous of Polite, especially when he made it to the Breakfast Club. Dudes is mad. Like, oh nah, I'm supposed to be on the Breakfast Club.
He made it to the Breakfast Club due to Ron Ati.
Exactly, but it don't matter how he made it. He made it nonetheless. And everybody feels like it should be them.
Right.
That tribunal should have took place.
Right.
It should have
They
took
had the
place.
elders, but they couldn't.
You didn't need the elders though, because you know why, Simon?
Right.
We the elders now.
I understand that.
Who's going to enforce it?
You know, let me tell you something.
Simon, listen to what I'm saying real quick, bro.
Right.
Who's going to enforce? You know what enforcing is.
Yeah, I know what
The elders can't enforce nothing. We are the enforcers.
The elders can give the clarion call to make it happen.
Who's
when they did that.
Who's the elders, Simon?
Hold on. I didn't know who they was talking about.
Who's the elders, period, Simon?
We now are the elders. No
Even
doubt.
at that time, who was the elders then?
We was crossing into the eldership. We wasn't all the elders yet. We was the ones that could have enforced it though.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If he's called to, because you know what? If that tribunal had took place, a lot of other ruckus wouldn't have happened. He would have got his legs cut off then.
You know, I don't know. You know why I don't know that would have happened if he would have still got his leg and everything with
We
Polite
would have all
walked.
disowned him, right?
Yeah, we would have definitely disowned him
That's it.
like we did with Bam.
That's so why was it because Polite and was the first Bam? We just didn't know it yet. He was already in motion with it. We just didn't know it. We didn't hear the stories. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go before the people and say, we're gonna call a tribunal, and that nigga said, hold on, y'all. Oh, don't tell nothing on me, and I won't tell nothing on you. That made me say, so what y'all got to hide now?
That I didn't know what that was about as far
See,
as
that's what I'm saying. So when he say, oh, y'all talking? Don't say nothing on me. I won't say nothing on you. So now it became this whole conscious thing, dudes who talking the esoteric rain and all of this crazy space shit that don't make no sense a lot of times, right?
Right.
Once he came and said that shut everything down. Now we can't believe nobody no more because that means y'all got dirt on your shirt, you got dirt on your shirt, and you got dirt on your shirt. The stuff that he was accused of didn't even happen for years yet. It was just the improprieties that he was going through in
The
LA.
monies and finance and
Yeah,
all.
exactly. It was none of
and
it was
again-
that. So the improprieties took place because dudes pussied out. And that's just the truth. That's not King Simon saying that. That's me saying that. Dudes pussied out. Because when it happened, I seen niggas trying to sick me on them. I saw it. I caught it. They was trying to sick me on them. I'm like, Polite don't want no smoke. That's easy work.
Not from you.
I seen dudes trying to sick me on them and like, yo, and I heard through the thing because I made some phone calls and I'm going to say Sonetta called me and was like, yo, niggas was mad at you because you ain't really go hard at Polite. I didn't call him to no tribunal though. I never booked him for nothing. I just interviewed him. I don't stand before the people acting like I'm some teacher. I just got a platform that I've shared and given to everybody.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now when we have this thing called the conscious community and we have all these moving pieces, all these niggas failed us. Let's get to it. What have any of these dudes done, Simon? Let's keep it real.
The new, I would say the new consciousness is not the same as the old, because at least the old ones, they built something. Most of the people built something. I could go back to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that was doing their thing, but again, that's a religious
That's not the
organization.
conscious community. We talking about these new niggas in costumes standing before us.
This new one is not because I've been through most of the generations. I've seen it all, and that's why I promised myself I will never join anything again.
So now we have people who are being led by people in full costumes. I don't care if a dude got a mask on. I don't care if a dude got an unk on. I don't care what a dude got on. What are they? They're calling themselves leadership, sitting before the people. What are they leading the people to? Because we know what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad mission was. Noble Drew Ali. What is the mission in this day and time that you see?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
Interview over.
I know what I need to do with my family and my lineage and what I need to talk to my children. I got 15 grandchildren,
Doggie
9
Diamonds
children.
did this.
I know what I need to say with them. After learning from all of the great ones, now I know, wait a minute, it's really about consolidating with your own family. Like, just like y'all want to do, just like the FBA want to do delineation, it's really about consolidating your own family. Really, and delineating and start clearing air. You learned what you had to learn. I learned from all these organizations that I've joined with. At the end of the day, we can make leaders rich and all this, but at the end of the day, it was still taught to us to do for self.
Facts.
First. Not leaders. Do for self. Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, the most honorable Marcus Garvey, do for self first. That's what we're supposed to do first, because that was the lesson to all of us from all of those people that called themselves leaders of that time. Do for self.
So that's still the nation. That's still the nation to this day.
That's still UNIA. That's still Noble Drew Ali and the rest of them. it's still the more science temple is really supposed to do for self.
So recently, I called out a clown. You ain't got to
Uh-oh.
say it. I'm gonna say a clown. 19 Keys. I think he's a fucking clown. I think 19 Keys is a clown. I think 19 Keys is a joke. I don't know who put him on. I don't know where he come from. But I was a little upset of him wearing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad crown like it was his. Like somebody said you could wear this.
Well, you know, he was raised under that. I met his mother and his father, very honorable people. Let's not.
His mother and his father. We talking about him. We not talking about the
Yeah,
parents.
but I'm saying I know by meeting and grasping these people and talking to them, I know he come from good stock. Whatever he's doing, I don't know that. You said what you had to say. He's never treated me wrong.
But see, that's a problem though, Simon.
Right.
Because how you
call him
got
a clown because of what?
Because you got 19 keys and you ain't open one door.
Really? You know where they come from? You know where they come from? That lesson?
It don't matter. It doesn't. Listen.
That's
But
the theology of time. You know that, right?
All right, but listen. For the people who do not have that understanding,
right,
they're gonna look at it at the surface. 19 keys.
Right.
You have to open a door. What door are you opening?
From your perspective, what doors has he not opened? He has helped certain people that I've talked to, and they said he's helped them.
Listen.
That's that conversation. That's between them. You, on the other hand, may see a whole different perspective. I don't know his full background. All I know, I met his beautiful mom and his beautiful dad.
We're not talking about them because my grandmother is beautiful. My grandmother is beautiful to this day. But I am a product of her, and she's not responsible for me because I'm a grown-ass man.
That's true.
Now, also, when he's saying the Renaissance, he trying to sell lectures and all that because he talking about it's a renaissance of rap. That's why he pissed me off. You don't talk about a renaissance of hip hop. The renaissance is coming back because Nas is out. When you got all these brothers that been keeping hip hop alive, what about all of them? So don't use it and don't use buzzwords for your lectures and what you trying to do. And I see all these niggas taking pictures together and all that is cute. Right. All that is cute. 19 keys ain't open one door. You ain't open one door because you go like you for the people, right? But who are you really for? All of these people here, man, I ain't got to talk to nobody. I should talk to him for what? You know who I am. I don't have to talk to nobody. I don't have to talk to nobody. I will call anybody out and I'll do it in their face. I don't think you really know who I am and what I do. Hopefully you don't have to learn.
That is true. I know who you are, brother.
Hopefully you don't have to learn.
I've heard the history.
So what I'm saying to you, Simon, these are the people now who make up and derive of this so-called conscious community.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? These are the people now who the people are listening to. And all I see is a bunch of personalities that's selling shit. But what are you really selling? You're selling an idea. Give me one of them that's going to teach you a tangible skill. Give me one of them. I'm going to sit here quiet.
Give you one of them that can teach a
tangible skill.
Depends on which one are you talking about.
Say you want to learn artwork. Say you want to learn how to use the studio. Say you want to learn how. Give me one of them that could teach you a tangible skill that's needed. Fun. That's needed right now as a people. You, all right, let me qualify you. You teach survival classes.
Disaster preparedness, yes.
Okay.
You got our brother AA who teaches art, who knows.
I'm not gonna include him. That's my brother.
I mean, you conscious, he said conscious now.
He's different.
It's a family.
He's different. That's different. But go ahead.
Rich teach studio work and very good at that.
I don't fuck with Brother Rich. I'm gonna be out here and be honest. I don't fuck with Brother Rich. I think that's your brother. No. I think Brother Rich. I don't fuck with Brother Rich, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna tell the world why I don't fuck with Brother Rich. Brother Rich asked me to do something. The first time I was ever on camera. Do you know that I was on his show before I was on my show?
Say it again.
I was on his show before I was on my show.
Okay.
I first camera time was on his show.
Where was that at Nicholas?
Yes.
Oh yes,
yes.
I remember.
Yes,
I remember that. Yeah.
I gave him all them views prior to me ever even going on my own channel.
So what is the problem?
The problem was one day he asked me, could I get him an interview with Charlemagne the God?
Oh, okay.
I told him no. You know why? Because I cannot ensure Charlemagne the God's safety, and I can't ensure these dudes running up on Charlemagne the God like we belong on the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
I couldn't ensure nobody's safety.
I
Ever
understand
since then, Brother Rich never spoke to me again. Ever.
between you and him. It's you and him.
So I just think he a bitch. That's just me though.
Nah, you're a good dude, man. You're a good.
To you, he's gonna be a good dude. That's why I started this. Anything that I say, hold that for me. And listen, if any of y'all want to meet up and do whatever we got to do, you know we could do that too. That ain't about shit. But
That's
I
old
don't
school.
fuck with
That's
him.
old school
I
stuff.
don't fuck with him. You understand what I'm saying? I don't fuck with him. This is my platform. But when I actually went on his platform and made sure his platform was in something before I even did something for me, that was out of love. Brother Rich was in my crib before. Did you know that? I brought him to my crib.
No, I didn't know that.
I have an episode with him. He never spoke to me again. Always acted funny. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we never really been around each other in the flesh because I'm like, yo, hold on. You acting funny on the internet. You too thin to win, so you need to calm down a little bit. In all honesty. But that's your man. I'm not going to go there with him like that. I'm just saying.
Dougie, I'm one of the people that like to resolve things. Can it be resolved?
I don't resolve shit with suckers, though. You understand what I'm saying? Niggas is not my caliber of men, though. We talking man time now, Simon. This is why this show is happening. We talking man time. You understand what I'm saying? This is not internet. When you act weird as a man, I can never respect you again. We could just stay away from each other. We could just stay out of each other's way. I won't punch you in your face. That's the only thing I could guarantee you, but I'll stay away. But I don't resolve shit with niggas who I think is a sucker unless you apologize to me as a man. You understand what I'm saying? You have to.
It can be resolved if it's an apology.
No, I just won't punch you in your face. That's it. That's it. I just won't smack you. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? And I purposely always kept his name out my mouth. I always never went in on him. But we talking about that's one of the forefronts of the conscious community where people are looking at, you know, he's putting out the information. And I'm going to give him that. I'm not going to take that away from him. What he does, he's great at what he does. His channel is great. The information he put out is great. I'm not going to ever denote nobody from that. I'm not going to take that from nobody. But for me, it's just certain people I need to stay away from because I just know my temperament and I don't do funny energy. I'm really a Brooklyn guy, for real, throwback. You understand what I'm saying? So now, at this particular time, we got all these dudes in costumes that's coming before the people, right? And a lot of times they blame you because they say you promoted them. That's why I got you on here. You understand what I'm saying? And Simon, I want to say one thing. I got you on here to qualify you that a lot of shit wasn't your fault.
Not my fault.
You just, Simon, if you know Simon, Simon is smiling. Simon is at everything. Simon always got his flyers. Simon arrived for everybody and be down for everybody. Always.
Until a certain point.
Until a certain point.
Yeah, because I ain't doing
So what is King Simon's breaking point?
Pedophilia, abuse of children, abuse of women. That is my breaking point. Abuse of me, disrespecting me, because I've definitely stepped to people because of that. Those are my abusing friends that I know that have integrity and keeps the code of conduct. Yeah, that's my breaking point. Family, definitely protect my family. If they do, I mean, the women in my family are afraid to tell me anything because I have a different soul when it comes to, and you know, especially rolling with your cousin and everybody, I'm different when it comes to certain.
So again, in this thing that many of us you say, you admitted you don't know what's going on. What is there a conscious community?
Not in the sense that we keep on thinking that this is some refined community, like there's a subdivision and all that. No, as far as mentally, there's some people doing that have taken a lot of information, are doing great work out there. I can admit that. Like people like that have set up schools. Big up to Q Butter. Big up to Dr. Oyama, what they doing. Big up to Dr. Baruti and his schools and those type of people that have kept it all after listening to our great conscious elders doing the stuff they did, although they didn't denote it as consciousness.
Right.
And there's young people that's going to come up because every generation has its dip, its ups and its downs. Let's not front.
Right.
So we're going through a certain cycle right now.
So why do
It is what it-
why do so many people get camera time, in your opinion, if they not really doing shit?
Because the internet has given us that.
Okay.
Gotta come on. The internet has. I mean, you could actually do a whole record deal by yourself. You don't even need to go to A&R and deal with all these people like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So you could. The internet has opened the doors to a lot of BS in consciousness, in music, in acting, in all different genres of music. All of that. It just opened a lot of doors to a lot of BS. And I remember the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about this camera. And
Be
he taught
careful of them
Malcolm, he taught
cameras.
Mr. Farrakhan. This camera is a dangerous beast. Even Dr. York used to teach it. Imam Isa, when he was under Islam, he did a book called Dr. Imam Isa versus the computer, and calling it the beast. That's the point that I didn't even get into the computer because of his teachings and because of the messenger's teachings in regards to this camera and being very careful of this camera.
So right now we at a time where we have Dr. Umar. Don't laugh. We have Dr. Umar.
I don't call him that. I call him Jermaine.
Jermaine, okay. And he calls himself the King Kong of consciousness, right? King Kong of consciousness, where we esoterically broke down the whole King Kong thing, right?
Yes, sir.
When he says he's the King Kong of consciousness, doesn't that make everybody who considers their self a conscious part of the conscious community look bad?
No,
Why not?
because there were certain elders that have stepped to him. Dr. Jeffries, right now he's gotten old. He's in the 90s, so he can't even really.
It's not his responsibility anymore.
Dr. Valentine
Shout out to him.
stepped to him and spoke out against him on somebody calling himself the King Kong. King Kong? I used to watch old ass King Kong movies, and he loved the white woman.
Right.
Snow bunnies.
Right,
Stop playing with me.
right.
And he thinks people are jealous of him. I don't call him Umar because in history, Umar was one of the caliphs of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was a great person. I'm not calling that man Umar. His name is Jermaine.
Let's go.
Jermaine.
Right.
He disrespected me one time when I came and bought his $50 book because I believe in the educational premises that he dropped in the book to buy it for my children. And then after I shook his hand, bought it, he go on the mic and say, "Look, family, this is King Simon, one of my New York haters."
Whoa.
What? So I went to him. I said, "I never hated on you, bro. I'm here buying a $50 book." I said it to him right there. He didn't give me the mic to say nothing. But it was during the pandemic. So suppose there was any zealot people out there. My son was so enamored with who he was that he didn't even hear it. I said, when we left in, I said, "You didn't hear that?" I said, "Yo, you can have this book because I got grandchildren that you need that information." I started giving away my shirts that I bought from him, and I never donated to a school because I wasn't sure about that.
Where was
But
this
I
at,
was
Simon?
Huh?
Where was this at when this happened?
In Atlanta, over there near Slutty Vegan.
Okay.
He was booking a place during the pandemic, so he was only allowed to let certain people in to get the book and then leave. But he shook, when I say Doggie Diamonds, he shook my hands, "Hey, King," and gave me a dap. Then after I bought the $50 book, because he got the money now, he goes on the mic and say what he says. Brother, the spirit, the spirit of Khalid is in me, but I know that there's a lot of cameras that you just can't do nothing. He think because he's big that I'm afraid of that. Or
Nigga
people
pussy.
think I'm afraid of that. We was taught in the dojo, no size should we be afraid of.
Niggas puss.
I see big dudes, I look at your ankles and I'll destroy that.
Right.
Quick, fast.
Right.
Because I'm not, I go for tendons as a little man. I'm not no big dude, so I have to protect myself. And I'm not no bad dude. I'm not I remember Michael Jai White said some of the most dangerous dudes he met was under 5'7". So I don't.
Bruce Lee was this big and that. Yeah.
But Sammy the Bull,
Right.
dangerous people at 5'5".
Right.
So you don't play with people that have to think about contending with you, because now you're putting the thought that I have to contend with you in a certain way. And I remember with Dr. Jermaine Shoemaker,
Mm-hmm.
Shoemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I won't even call him doctor no more. I'm not digging Jermaine.
Right.
He was looking all fat and bloated at a lecture when we all thought he was first, we thought he was sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to that brother and said, yo, bro, you look at you sweating and you profusely sweating on the stage at this church right there at Nostrand Avenue in Eastern Parkway. That used to be a movie theater right there.
Right.
That church. I grew up at that church. I went and seen Caligula at that place.
Goodness gracious.
Exactly. Back in the day.
Right.
My cousin took me there. I was 13.
Yeah, you shouldn't have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy because it was raw. It was raw.
Right. Yeah.
Damn, my cousin, she never forget that. But I went there, support the brother, and I looked at him looking all sweaty and crazy. I went backstage, hey, King Simon, because he remember with Sonetta. You remember we with Sonetta at that time. I said, yo, man, you're looking kind of sick, man. You all right? He said, yeah, I've been feeling bad. I gave him a Dr. Africa DVD, and I gave him Dr. Africa's number to help him. So for him to call me a New York hater, that's always been a Philly and New York thing. And I've lived in Philly. Right. I don't know why they always going at each other. I don't know what's the drama between Philly and New York. That goes way back. But because he's a Philly dude, sometimes Philly people always act a certain way, and he has a contention against us because of what happened at the National Black Theater with him, Polite, Sonetta, and Seti that time when they spoke at that lecture, had a packed house. He comes late. Polite helped pay for the venue and pay for the thing. So all of us are promotional partners. Me, him, Seti, and all that. Me, him, Sonetta, and all of that. He comes late, and we had to close it down because we wasn't going to pay the extra money to now be. And he had to rush through it, so he thought we was hating on him. Then you come late,
right,
Jermaine,
right.
Came late.
Let me ask you something,
Go ahead.
Simon.
Yes, sir.
Right now we do have a lot of people. You have a new, you got your channel.
Yes, sir.
You do numerology.
Yes, I do.
What's the significance and what's the importance of numerology? Because remember one time I was like, yo, bro, I ain't with all that astrology shit. I ain't with them rocks. I'm not climbing that stone mountain thinking that I'm not doing none of that because I think a lot of that is cap. I'm just going to keep it real. I don't believe in a lot of that. I think a lot of that is cap. I think a lot of that is taking people money and giving them nothing. And it's a good, feel good spiritual moment, but numbers don't lie. I got to rock with you on the numbers. The rocks, the sun, moon, stars, quasar, and using Greek and Roman names for stuff, I'm not rocking with that. But the numbers, I'm going to rock with you on the numbers. Explain why numerology trumps all of that.
Because numerology means exactly what it means. It's the study of numbers. And all of us, even on these platforms, are looking for numbers.
Right.
When we're dealing with stocks and bonds, there's numbers. So numerology is dealing with the different levels. I don't care what Wikipedia did because I know what they did was try to put it in a pseudoscience thing when it actually just means the study of something. So when you're doing anything in the mathematical realm, that would be considered the study of numbers because you're using numbers to get to your equation. So what we do as a numerologist, or what I call myself numeroveda, using numbers to motivate you, I use your birthday and your name that you've been resonating since you was young to now still celebrating it and help to guide you to be your best self because numbers deal with, it's not psychic, it deals with patterns, cycles, and sequences like any other science because it's a metaphysical science, and it deals with statistics, it deals with possibilities, and it deals with all of the different nuances that regular science deal with. It's just that it deals with the metaphysical part, which means meta meaning beyond or beyond physical. But you got people like Michio Kaku that calls it metamaterial, beyond material. Why are they changing names in the scientific world? He's the father of string theory. So I study all this. I got books by Nikola Tesla. I got books by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I study why they even study numbers from their own perspective. I study these things. I don't just jump into numerology just because it's something of the day. I've been studying it since the 5% Nation because we was taught mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, and it stands true.
So let me ask you something.
That's what we was taught.
Gematria, is that real?
Gematria is real too. Big up to brother A. Rashid who studies
the Kabbalah God. Yes,
that's real. But that has another level of the use of numbers.
Okay.
Again, numerology, study of Anything with an ology, biology, zoology, is study of something.
Let me ask you something. I don't know if you noticed. What was the significance of the matrix, the numbers coming down, in your opinion?
Now that was interesting because that caught everybody's eyes because of that. But that's dealing with computer technology and things flowing down to 0 1s, because 0 1s, remember, that's what creates the binary codes to make these things work like computers. In numerology, although we know it's a binary thing, it helps to make things happen. In numerology, from an esoteric point, that's female, male, finally coming together to make what is procreate what we or create what we call the computer science. So that's, I look at a 0 as the womb of woman, and the 1 dealing with the phallic symbol of male. That's the only thing you could create with 0 and 1.
Right.
It's not 0, it's not 1 in an asshole. It's 1 in a vagina. Son.
No filter for real. Yeah.
We ain't doing that.
So
because when the 0 1 came, when that science of binary came together, that's when we was able to create the technology that we're dealing with today.
Right.
So we can't doubt that. That's a study of numerology, the study of numbers too.
So got a little deep there. How could people get? So you don't do what's called number readings. What is it that you do to service the people?
I don't read people. I consult them with.
Okay. So what would it be called that you do? Because tarot cards and and listen, and let me tell y'all something too. A lot of y'all chicks is not witches. Just because you get a deck of cards and start shuffling them, you ain't no witch. Miss me with that. Because if witchcraft is bad, why y'all so mad at Jay-Z because he was with a witch? If Beyonce is a witch and she's evil and all that, why you sitting there shuffling cards and all that? So stop with that, y'all. Where a lot of y'all black women is not witches. Okay, cut it out. Go ahead.
Remember, the word witch goes back into etymology, which deals with the wise woman, the Wicca, the wise woman. Remember why they was called witches, because they was able to do certain things with herbs to heal certain people or reverse certain effects. And in medieval time, and here's a book, I tell you when I say I study, here's a book called Satanism and Witchcraft.
They ain't had no tarot cards though.
No. Which movie I found this book in?
Which one?
Constantine with.
Right.
Man, This was on the dashboard of the damn thing in front of Shia LaBeouf. I made sure I stopped the film because anytime they put anything in a movie at that bigger budget, the books are very significant. And I used to work for Spike Lee doing security for him, so I understood that. So books I get, but tarot has its own numerology system also.
I ain't fucking.
A lot of people are throwing because remember where tarot comes from. Throughout Italy, throughout Kemet, of symbolism. It's all symbol because everything is symbolism, because numbers are symbols. But because over the years, it's kind of been watered down.
That's the point I'm making. We have, what is your qualification for shuffling these cards? I know hoes, promiscuous women who would be considered to be hoes, that's shuffling cards saying, let me do a reading on you. You need to do a reading on you. It became watered down, bro. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Monique. I got to shout out Monique Nicholas in the building. Nicholas Brooklyn. If you've never been to Nicholas Brooklyn, that's where I get my incense from. That's where I used to get my frankincense from. That's where I get my oils from. Nicholas Brooklyn is right by Restoration. I remember when it was downtown. Yeah. Shout out to Ella in the building. She a Pisces. She always called me a Pisces. Shout out to my cousin Tad. Shout out to Pharaonic Corp in the building. Shout out to Sister Keisha in the building. They in here tonight. They know I'm crazy. They already know what I'm going to do. So go ahead, Simon.
Doggie Diamonds, our mothers are natural oracles.
Facts. I'll say that.
Because you remember, because they all of us have intuition. It's just when you go into the church, they call it prophets and prophetess. On the street, they call it psychics. So your gut feelings is a form of intuition. When you have that gut feeling not to go down that street or go down that road, when you go against your intuition, you've been down that road, Doggie Diamonds, when you said, yo, I wasn't supposed to go down there, and you went down
and
there.
And I got stabbed.
Exactly. So everybody got it. Some people just use cards just to direct it but they all got it because
Some
all women have to
people.
do is all the women have to do is stop using the damn cards.
Again, Simon,
Yes.
again, when a brother comes before you with a white jacket, a stethoscope, and a nameplate, you call him a doctor because of his costume.
Right.
You never checked his credentials to see if he really was a doctor. How did I start this show? I qualified you. Who qualifies some of these niggas?
It's supposed to be through either study or an elder that was studying for 40 or something. Like Lloyd can qualify me, definitely, to the point that I have invented my own system that I won't even call myself a reader. I call myself an advisor and a consultant because when it goes down to Queen Victoria or JP Morgan, they had advisors and consultants that was doing
Facts.
astrology and numerology.
Facts.
I got the books on that.
Facts.
So I study this for real.
You put in
for
your
real.
10,000 hours.
I put in my 10,000 hours since 1989.
No, you was doing shit, and you said it like 84 and all that. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Because from the time in the 5%, when you introduced to it from the 4, you learning mathematics. So obviously you're going to start getting inquisitive. So if 8 is build and destroy, if you are born under the 8, if you're not careful, you can either build your life or destroy your life. You being born on the 25th, you are observed because 25 is a number of observation and endurance. So when I look at you, I know why you do what you do through your research.
So Simon, when we have a lot of people now on the cameras,
yes, sir.
Remember when your first knowledge was the Nation of Gods and Earth, right?
Yes, sir.
You had a what? An enlightener.
Enlightened. Yes, I did.
Why do people get camera time and they don't have an enlightener? See, this is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, because I see a lot of personality worships. I see this dude named Yada that's saying, yo, if you're not giving your wife $5,000, if you're not doing all of this Derek Jackson, all of this pandering weird shit, but it's seeping into the people's minds and it's causing division with us because now a woman is looking at you like you broke if you ain't got $5,000 to give her if she just had a baby. And these are the people that's getting all the camera time. They're getting on the Breakfast Club. The Earn Your Leisures is getting on the Breakfast Club. The Omar is getting on the Breakfast Club. All of these people are getting camera time,
right?
But who qualified them?
This social media qualifies them.
Thank
because
you.
this has been the World Wide Web has created this narcissistic media. Because remember, the root of narcissism goes from that Greek and Roman.
I always tell people that they think it's a mental illness. No, it's a myth. It's a mythological story.
That's right. Of him looking at himself, admiring. You could go on certain Instagram and everybody's taking pictures like this. Just all through their whole thing. That's narcissist.
And any dudes who keep taking pictures of themselves,
that's crazy.
You a bitch. And any dudes, when I put a picture of myself up and I'm emotional doing something, and you go under my picture and tell me who I look like and it's another man, you a bitch too, because you looking at me, imagining another man. You weird. I don't even really care too much if ladies compliment me and all that. But all you men under my pictures telling me, oh, you look like this. Y'all weird. Y'all bitches. Go ahead, Simon.
But yeah, so we got to be this has created a bunch of monsters.
Right.
Why the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, also born under that number 7, like your cousin Taz 7, and you connected to 25, which is 7. They see into the future in some way.
Oh, my discernment. Yo, my discernment is...
Oh, yeah.
I'm scared of it. Yo, you know what's funny? Before I interviewed you today,
yes, sir.
You're the first person that I interviewed in a long time that I felt, but prior to interviewing you, I felt overwhelmed. Today I felt overwhelmed.
Right.
Because I felt like I gotta find a way to ask Simon the tough questions, but I gotta find a way to let the audience know he's not one of them. Like, he didn't do what the accusations. I seen people call you a scammer, a grifter, and all that. And I'm just saying, because of my relationship with you and me knowing you, it bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody do something to your brother or saying something about your brother, like it bothered me. It bothered me. You understand? Hold up. Doggie Diamonds won't tell y'all I suggested him to make resting videos because he's too prideful. First of all, you want my attention like a female. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you up out of here because you didn't tell me to do shit. I'm a whole grown ass man. I don't listen to people. Anybody will tell you I don't listen to nobody.
Right.
But look, a man wanting my attention. See, that's what I be talking about. Some of y'all men, fix your wrist. I tell y'all all the time, fix your wrist. No broken wristism over here. But when Simon, when I see, every time I mention your name, I always say my brother King Simon, yo King, yes. And I see the negative comments, I'll be like, why y'all saying that about him? I don't know none of that about him.
It's guilty by association. I know what it is because I was such a good promoter. And nobody was on me when I was promoting for the Jewish man at SOBs or at the Palladium with, Tommy Mottola.
Right.
All of them niggas,
right.
All of them demons. And but only when I got here to this consciousness.
Right.
And I was promoting conscious reggae at SOBs. I ran the reggae night and I was bringing all of the Dennis Brown and all of the great conscious reggae, the Gregory Isaacs and the culture and Burning Spear and all that. Nobody was talking about that. And I was working with white folks. Wow. I've been doing this consciousness. Before even Sonetta was promoting consciousness, I was doing consciousness. But I did it in the music world because I wouldn't promote any rap shows at SOBs unless it was conscious because I was there when KRS-One came in there. Jamalski is a good friend of mine. When we see each other, yo, Simon, people like them know me. Tree, the promoter Tree before he passed on. Y'all know Tall, Slim Tree that used to give out flyers for KRS. They was out there. We was out in them streets from when we was young, Seaborn. All of them. BBD, we was with the Boogie Down production. While I was in New York, we was helping promote for them. If Tree asked me to promote, I'll promote for him. If I asked Tree to promote, I promoted for Shaggy, went to school with Shaggy, went for Red Fox, all of these guys, worked with Wyclef, worked with all these people in SOBs and throughout Urban Plaza. I was doing street work. That's what we did. So, but in this generation, they don't understand that just because I'm a good promoter don't mean it's just like when you put up a disclaimer. The views and opinions of such and such and such. It does not.
I said that how I started it.
Yeah, the views and just because I promote them, like I said earlier, I said I wish I would have became an investigator.
But how? But when I want to say Simon though, but how is we all to blame though? I don't think you could shoulder the blame, right? No, I just think, no, I'm just saying you can't shoulder the blame because we put all these dudes on our platforms. We didn't know they was going to disappoint the people.
And that shouldn't be our
So
fault.
that's why I said, has the conscious community failed us? So the question is, has us failed us? Not to the individual. No individual could fail me because I don't listen to niggas. Let me just be real with you. I don't listen to that. What? Fuck out of here. Nigga, fuck them rocks, nigga. I got bullets. You throw rocks. I'm throwing these slugs. I feel like because we all wanted to believe in each other, right, and dudes came with them costumes on, right, we thought he was a doctor. We thought he was a good brother. We thought he was we didn't know that a lot of these dudes were deviants. We didn't know that. How would we have known? The power and the fame corrupted many. We didn't know that he would leave his wives. We didn't know that he wanted 20,000 ribs. He wanted 20,000 earths. We didn't know that. We just didn't know. We never been in nobody's home. We came under the guise of brotherhood and knowledge. Right. We were deceived as well. Right. So that's why I won't let you take the blame. I say, the community is at blame because we failed us. I had Polite on my camera. Polite told me on the camera he was building a mental health institution. I'll show y'all the videos right now. And then the viewers, thank you, Jugga 1017, the viewers started personality worshiping. Right. So if you did denounce Polite, you was a hater.
That's true.
You was a hater. Remember when they were saying, oh, you just jealous of this, jealous of that? So what happened was a lot of times where you wanted to call certain things out, you wanted to move away from certain things, you were now a hater. That's what Umar called you, right?
And a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes conversation with a lot of these dudes, or trying to. I even try to call Umar. I try to call a few people that was on Sanetta's show talking that madness about me. I say, yo, Sa, give me his number. I'm not gonna go online and do this because I'm 58, going to be 60 in 2 years. I ain't got no time to be calling you online. I'm doing the children stuff. When back in the day, we used to knuckle up in the Ansar community or knuckle up on the streets back in the day.
I still like that shit though. I still like
We'll
that.
talk
I
it out.
still
If you knock me out or I knock you out, whatever, we get up and hug each other and get the hell out. But that's the problem. We got a bunch of men that are really boys.
Mm.
And we got a bunch of men that been hurt by their dad or their mom, like Jermaine Shoemaker.
Mm.
You know, like him, like different people that are going through whatever. Remember, Polite said he didn't meet his mother until he was 17.
Goodness gracious.
And then when she was on her deathbed, big up to his sister, whatever she's doing, big up to I met his sister, big up to his wife. I still try to text and make sure his wife is all right and his daughter, because they were good people to me. No matter what he's going through. I gotta say, yo, you all right? You all right? Because I check on people. You know, I'll text you for your birthday.
Right.
I don't care. I text Unc West from he born the same day you born. I'll text Unc West. He talk bad about numerology and all that, but I'll still text him. I'll text Tariq Bey. Tahaka Bey, and I'll still text him for his birthday on March the 21st to see how he doing.
Damn, you remember his birthday and all that.
Goddamn right, I remember everybody's birthday. This is what I do.
Right.
So, you know, again, we might blame ourselves, but at every interval of life, in every era, there's always been somebody that either was in the conscious community that was fighting each other. Come on, but back in the day, Marcus Garvey, they was calling him a gorilla and all kinds. They was attacking.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it right now. If King Simon had the podium,
yes, sir,
and you were talking to the people who need to hear you, which you do every Tuesday. I'm not going to say that. You every Tuesday, right? Is your show?
Yeah, Tuesday I do today's consciousness in the conscious community. Every Tuesday or every other Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. What is some of the instructions you would give?
To who?
To the people who are listening to you. Because you do give the instruction, but I want you to just reiterate on this platform.
I would say, especially to the young people coming up and the elders and the new elders, because we're now new elders, and the ones that's going to be new elders.
We're the elders.
Don't disrespect elders.
Never. Yeah, right. You're right.
If they had information at that time, please add on. Don't have to destroy Ivan Van. You don't have to destroy Dr. Ben. You don't have to add on. Okay, you got new information. They went through stuff I didn't go through.
Right.
Respect your elders, because one day you're going to be an elder.
Yeah, and they suffered in ways that we never suffered. Like they suffered in trying to wake people up who didn't want to hear it the way y'all niggas don't want to hear it now. And they got nothing for it financially. And many of them didn't get anything, and they were leaving their children, they were leaving their families to save people who now throw them away and talk bad about them.
And big up to Pharaonics Corp. He born July 12th, so stop playing, Pharaonic. Don't be saying that.
Pharaonic ain't sent me no clothes in a while. As a matter of fact, I ain't even talking to you now I think about it. I ain't even rocking with you, bro. He laced me, but he ain't even sent me no clothes in a while. Anybody in the chat who got merch who ain't sent me no clothes, I ain't even talking to you no more.
I love Pharaonic.
That's my bro. Shout out to him and his twin.
I talked to Ram Umar too, born January 11th, same day as Mary J. Blige. Big up to Ram Umar. You know what I'm saying? But again, the thing I would say, please study and cross-reference. Don't just take TikTok and Instagram as the Bible to anything. That's why I got books behind me. I just lost 1,500 books in a storage because of mismanagement with my son and that. So I just lost 1,500 books. So I mean, my mother used to say, because Doggie, we was raised, we wasn't dragged up.
No, we got to respect our elders.
We wasn't raised. Whether you in when you in Central America, North America, or the Caribbeans, and South America, all that, those that was raised up will treat the elders right.
Right.
That's why when anytime Dr. Queen Afua is somewhere, or people like Dick Gregory used to be somewhere, I'll show up for free to do security for him.
Right.
And I'm in the midst. I'm sitting right there, or being back on the side to help.
Right.
Because I love my elders. And though I'm an old soul, and I used to love, my grandfather died at 103. I would, to this day, Lloyd, I told Lloyd, me and him was in New Orleans, and he's like 70 something years old. And he disappeared for a minute. And I went looking around. I said, yo, Lloyd, don't just disappear without telling me, man.
Right.
He's still an elder. And I will kill for him.
Right.
Not just die for anybody. I'm killing for elders. Because I've been in that position where we had to stand in front of Farrakhan and Khalid and different people without a vest.
Right.
At the Million Youth March, the first one, I was there on the stage with Dr. Ben, securing Dr. Ben. And then I came back, took him to a safe place, let somebody take him, one of his family members, and I went back on stage with Dr. Khalid. I come from that cloth. So you young brothers and sisters, please consult elders that still keep the code of conduct.
Right.
The Tads of the world who had party. That's why I don't say consciousness is dead. He has a party organization. Sister Keisha and them, they Tassili Ma'at doing what they got to do to keep on putting the information, because it's going to get to some young person that's going to do it right.
Q Butter, the Ziax Institute.
Yeah, big up to Q Butter. Big up to Ma'at, Sister Ma'at, Dr. Oya Ma'at with the STEM. I love seeing what they're doing, man. And I'm going to be interviewing Q at the end of the month.
Dr. Ma, you ain't never been here too. Let me call you out real quick. Where you at? Me and her spoke one time to do something, but I would like to bring her on the platform. Do you think it's too much schools of thought?
Yes, to a certain degree.
Break that down, because it's very divisive.
It's too much schools of thoughts where it's creating divisiveness now.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, when I used to have lectures, or before that, you used to see the Moors and the Hebrews and everybody at the lectures.
Right.
Together.
Right.
It's not until the debate culture, and big up to Sarnetta, I know that's what he does, but I think we took what Dr. Khalid was doing in his debate era to a whole different level, that it became
disrespectful. It became disrespectful.
It can be disrespectful, because Doc wanted to debate only white folks. I know that.
Facts. Yeah, facts.
Until that Christian brother in LA called him out and said Chuck wanted to call him out and debate him on. I had that VHS tape of him calling him out. So, and then everything started, because I know Sarnetta tried to call a lot of white folks, but they study us first, and then they'll make the decision not to come on and debate.
Yeah, but that don't mean we start punching each other in the face, though. That's
you have a few daredevils out there.
Yo, I can't get you, so I'm gonna snuff my man. Like you don't. Yeah,
I remember when I said this online on one of my shows. I said, "Yo, there was Tim Wise called out Francis Cress Wells and then tried to blame it on a black scholar." But I called him out to come and debate either Dr. Africa or Phil Valentine. They wanted to debate, even though Dr. Francis Cress Wells was still alive. Those two men said, I'm going to do it for her.
Right.
That's what elders do.
Right. We protect the elders.
That's what I learned from.
Right.
Dr. Jeffrey, Professor Smalls, they would have debated. Ranoka Rashidi, all of them would have debated for the Queen Mother, Dr. Francis Cress Wells, who wrote the ISIS papers.
That's why I don't like Mark Lamont Hill, because he disrespected her before. I don't like him to this day. Y'all can like him. I don't like him.
And he used to be under Dr. York. So.
Facts. I don't like you to this day.
And he born December 17th.
I don't like you to this day. No, for real. I don't care what you doing. I don't like you. I don't care who you go talk to. I've been trying to get him on my show, but I don't like you. I don't like you.
And I wish, and again, I know he's trying to do whatever he's doing from his perspective. I don't hate him.
That nigga's a bitch. Let me tell you something. When you disrespect somebody, when you disrespect somebody who raised us up here, that's Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, was one of the original who wrote the ISIS papers.
Exactly.
How could you disrespect somebody who wrote the ISIS papers?
That's like disrespecting Neely Fuller. I had both of them.
Yep.
I got their number still in my phone.
Yeah.
Dr. Khalid, I still got his number in one of my old phones.
Yeah, it's hard to erase a number of an ancestor, boy. Even when they transition. You just don't erase the number.
I can't. Dr. Ben, I still have a picture of me and Dr. Ben in my phone. And I remember Dr. Ben, as old as he was when we was driving around with Clemson Brown, I still got Clemson Brown in my phone. And he was just pointing out all the areas in Harlem. As old as he was just, this is the way we used to do this. That we were driving around, Dr. Ben. So, I mean, the elders got so much. And right now they're online beating up on Reggie because he's defending Dr. Ben. And they said that he wasn't a qualified. How you can't even.
They beating up Reggie for defending Dr. Ben.
Defending Dr. Ben about his scholarship and all that. This is what they doing. They
but we gotta understand is we gotta renew history all the time, right? Every certain thousands of years. Well, we not up to renew history. We get new information because we got more technology. They had to travel. They had to get on planes, boats, and actually go to libraries to study and study under other great scholars and elders, compare and contrast. Right. We have technology.
Yes, we do.
So we can't, if he didn't know that, and we know that, we can't say, he's stupid, don't listen to him. We just got to do what? What you learn in the Nation of Gods and Earths. You got to add on. That's all you do is add on. You don't take away.
That's what
you add on. You add on. That's all you got to do is add on.
The plus lessons, that's what it was all about.
That's all you got to do is add on. Okay, according to this time, just like I was telling people that we've been misnamed, we was colored, we was Negro, we was African American, we was this, we was that. Okay, now in this time, I want to be known as a Black American. That's what I want to be known as. You know why? Because that's what me and my family want to identify as. And if you got an issue with that, how the fuck could you have an issue with me? And I watch people change their God. I watch people change their God. You know what type of person you got to be to change your God? I never said I wasn't nothing else but a Black man. I always said I was a Black American.
Right.
When Tad was going through his different schools of thought,
right,
I never subscribed to it. But as we got information, I never dissed my cousin. I was just like, Tad, I ain't fucking with none of that.
Right.
But as he got different information, he said, oh shit, this, that, and the third. You understand what I'm saying? But dudes have changed their God. You know how much you don't believe to change your God? Let's deal with that for a minute. I watch dudes that say they from another planet, but I can't say that my family's from the Americas.
Right.
Goodness gracious. Give me some of the people from the continent that could trace their family back 500 years. Even some people from the Caribbean that could trace their family back 500 years. I can't. So why you mad at me? I don't call nobody names because I looked at, when I coming from the thought of Pan-Africanism, I looked at all of us as one. Right. But now, Simon, I want to tell you, and this is something, what happened was in this day and time, some of the continental brothers, some of the Caribbean brothers started coming here and talking shit about us. Mm-hmm. They caused a division, and it started on the internet. So now you going to tell me Simon ain't my brother because he's from Jamaica? You going to tell me Ella ain't my sister because she's Haitian and Veronica is Haitian, so that ain't my people? Nah, because I respect you as a Jamaican. I respect them as Haitians. Mm-hmm. But if I call myself FBA, you got to respect me too.
Of course.
And that's the problem. A lot of people are not respecting each other because how the fuck you going to tell me what I'm not when I showed the whole world who my grandmother, great-grandfather was?
And I have mine too.
I knew who my great-grandmother was.
Exactly.
I knew who my great-grandfather was. I knew who my father's grandfather was. So I know. You understand what I'm saying? So if I say, this is what I'm under, this is what I'm going, y'all need to cut it out. Because if you are proud this and you are proud that, why can't I be proud? I'm not mad at you, but I watch y'all niggas change y'all God. I watch no matter where you from. I watch you change your guard. I watch you one day you got on a kufi, next day you got on fringes, next day you got on fez, next day you talking about, yo, we're matter. You done changed your guard like 20 times. I never changed who I was. I'm from Fulton Street. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Waverly Avenue. Always been that. Always been that.
You remember my man who drove the big motorcycle, used to bodyguard Muhammad Ali?
You talking about Red?
Yeah,
Red. He did right by the fire station. Hell yeah. Yeah, Red.
Big Red, man.
Yeah, Red. Red on my block, right across the street from PS11.
Right, PS11.
Yeah.
We used to hear him every time when we come out of PS11.
That's my block where my generations are from. Do you know that every child in my family was born in one building? All the kids was born in one building. All of us, Johnny Red, all of us were born in one building. My parents, my father's side and my mother's side met in one building. So I had both sides in the building. You understand what I'm saying? And that's really what it's all about. So now as we coming into consciousness, now people are saying, yo, we divided. But look at the things that divides us. Ideologies, right? That's why I asked you, is there too many schools of thoughts? Because now we got conscious banging. Now my guard is better than your guard, right? I had some brother come in here tell me the other day that I'm cursed because I don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. If you don't get the fuck out my face, how could I be cursed when I'm blessed?
Let me say something.
How could how could I be cursed when I'm blessed? I done been stabbed. I lost my mother at 2. I lost my father. I lost my older brother, my older sister, my aunt who raised me. How could you tell me I'm cursed? I got my own crib, trying to drive a foreign car, and got money. And I got my health. I lost 120 pounds. How you telling me I'm cursed? Fuck out of here. That's why I be I'm telling you. We gonna go back to blood and mouth season. I'm telling y'all, I'm just telling y'all. We gonna go back to that because you know why, Simon? You know why that's essential and important? Because you knew when you said certain things and you did certain things, when you went outside, they might want to kick your ass. So you didn't do that. Niggas ain't getting their ass whooped no more.
That's true.
That's why everybody talking. That's why somebody could say, yo, F Dr. Delbert Blair.
Okay.
He was pseudo. This is what's happening now. What is happening to people who disrespect the elders, who are the enforcers? Who's the defenders of them? If somebody push your grandmother in the street, what's going to happen to them?
My grandmother.
This is what I'm saying. So Frances Cress Welsing wasn't our grandmother?
She was.
Dr. Ben wasn't our grandfather?
Yes, he was.
So if somebody say, fuck your dead grandfather, what's supposed to happen?
Bloody mouth.
This is what I'm saying.
That's what.
And you missed a piece too. Don't.
Yeah, but I missed a piece to a point. Like I told
This is the point. But what I'm saying to you, Simon, I'm at the point. I'm personally at the point.
You got the energy for it too.
I'm at the point.
I know. Let me tell you something. Between you and I and your audience, I know scientists from a real scientist. I mean, certified scientists that they wanted to tell me what I can do and go to the pharmacy and put certain things together, and I could clear a whole stadium with it. I told them, don't tell me that type of stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Because somebody like me, again, if you bring out that negative side of somebody like me, it's like, who wants to maintain peace, who wants to bring peace, even when it comes to the FBA and all this stuff dealing with the Caribbean. You got to remember, geographically, it's all of the Americas, even into the Caribbean.
Right.
But we're not studying that deep.
Right.
Divisiveness came through Europeans messing us up.
Right.
And we ain't fighting. And I want y'all. I told, like I said to Tad and everybody, I said, I want y'all to delineate, but don't disrespect the people that still work with you, because you got.
No, listen. What you said, I am 100% in
You got
agreement with
zealot
that.
people that just want to. They like bots. They just want to start negative things.
King
Just calling
Simon
anybody.
is from Jamaica. That is
My
my
family,
brother.
born
That is my
here,
brother.
raised in this neighborhood.
But what I'm saying is that you are my brother in spirit, mental, and in the flesh. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I respect that. That's why I don't use certain words. I don't use derogatory words. I don't do that personally.
I ain't
You know what
calling
I'm
nobody.
saying? So
Because-
so my thing is like, because you know we're not allowed to say anything about women, right? As men, you know we're not, right? We get called misogynist. Who should speak to women? Other women, right? Other women should speak to, because you did have MGT classes at one point, right?
That's right.
And then you have civilization classes. You have different things, right? So women should speak to women, right? What happens is when they do, they get called pick-me. See, they always make up a name for you when you go in a certain way. So now you, as a Jamaican brother who's, basically grew up in the United States,
I'm born here and raised. And
you-
when I went over there, they dogged me out.
you need to do a state of address to the Jamaican brothers who's disrespecting the FBA. Because it has to come from you.
I don't mind doing that.
It can't come from me because they're not going to take it well. Just like anybody who's of Haitian descent. You should say, yo, let them delineate. Why y'all mad at them for claiming their heritage? As long as they're not disrespectful.
I feel, we all watch The Matrix, right?
Facts.
I feel that there should be one designated elder from every one of the Americas, Caribbean, South America, that wants the delineation and making sure the Central America get theirs, making sure North America get theirs, making sure all of them, because if Garvey said, according to the book, thank you, Sister Keisha, for even reminding me, because I remember that book, but I never read that page, and then Sister Keisha pulling it out, that the Black Americans or the Negroes, the Black Negroes or the American Negroes are the blueprint, because that will cause the domino effect for everybody to get it after that,
right?
On the whatever they're doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm looking at. So I want it to happen, especially if Garvey said it. Right. I know he fell off at a certain point with his wife and all that kind of stuff, but in the beginning part, like Sister Keisha pointed out, absolutely right. That was his writing, because we joined these organizations because of the sincerity of the leaders first.
That's how I started it. Everybody.
That's why I joined the nation, right. The Ansar Allah, the sincerity of what Dr. York or Imam East presented us. Remember I joined that at 16, 17. Damn, they ran away from my mother, so by the time I reached 17, I went and joined that community. And we thought we was 144,000.
You never been to Spofford back then?
Never went to jail, man. I got away from jail because they tried to kill me in Erasmus. They tried to kill me in different schools.
Why you ain't come get us, man? We was in jail kicking ass and doing all types of stuff like that. No, we went through it. I
never went to jail. My friends went to jail. Matter of fact, I got away from jail. My other friends went to Spofford and all that. And I got away from it because we were supposed to meet at one building after a robbery in Flatbush. And boom, everybody else got caught except me.
Wow, hey.
Yo, they tried to knock my head off and I got away.
But you know what though, Simon, I want to go back to one thing is important before we wrap up, because we've been here for a while. I got all the time in the world, but I don't want to do that to you.
I'm here, man.
Okay. The community that we're in.
Yeah.
The consciousness meeting on the mind level now. Let's say it's not the traditional community. We meeting in the spiritual plane, the mental plane. Mental health. Bro, I see a lot of people struggling with their mental health.
Yeah.
And that's not being addressed. It's not being taken care of. I don't care what your school of thought is. We got people struggling in the mosque, in the temple, in the school, on the corner. A lot of people are struggling with their mental health. You went through it early.
Yes, I went through it.
I'm very transparent with my audience.
Me too.
what is it that's happening to us? And what is it that we can do to strengthen our mental health individually? Because remember this, right?
Right.
If I'm saying, and you're crazy, your crazy affect my saying this. See, we don't think that, oh, he's bugged out, I'm good. No, because if he start wilding out on the train, you might have to pluck him out, or he might pluck you out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like at-risk children. Be like, oh, my kids is good. They not at risk. But what about the kids who are at risk that's going to corrupt your children? You understand what I'm saying? Mental health. What is the importance of mental health in your opinion?
Man, bro, at this time of my life, after going through what I went through, it's the most important, because if your mind ain't right, your body ain't right. And going through those depressions time, and I wrote it in my book, Numerology for Mental Stability. That's why I wrote the book.
Dope.
Numerology for Mental Stability, a numerological guide to recognizing mental instability and staying motivated.
Where could they get that from?
On Amazon, King Simon on Amazon.
Okay.
Everything on that. I got 5 books on Amazon.
Hey, you rich.
No, it's residual. It's all helping.
Go ahead.
And I'm not a licensed therapist or psychotherapist, but I do recommend the suicide hotline. I recommend all the therapists and clinicians in here holistically. And I direct people to Sister Rachel, that's been on the Breakfast Club. That's why Charlemagne talks about her, Rita Walker. She got a good book here called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. I recommend different people, Queen of Fu, all these sisters and brothers that have helped. Dr. Africa used to be a psychotherapist for 13 years. And he told people, that's why I don't understand Jermaine Shoemaker, because if he's into psychotherapy or was that, and if that's what he graduated from, they're supposed to have other psychotherapists talk you down every week.
Yeah, I already kicked him in his ass though, because again, if he ain't got his mental health, how he gonna take care of somebody's kids? He don't even take care of his own. So let's just keep it moving on him.
He ain't taking care of his own mental health
and his physical. And the mind control the body. So if you ain't if your mind ain't right, that's why you look like Fozzie Bear. But let's continue. Shout out to my bro C Gutter. But go ahead.
So it's important that I wrote this book to give people guidance through their own personal numbers, because although every numbers can attract certain things, that's why I tell people numbers pay attention to cycles, sequences, and patterns that can be attracted to you even through health. So if you have a lot of ones in your chart, you could have eye issues, blood pressure issues, circulation problems. But I'm alerting you that don't mean you're going to get it. You just got to be careful of it. That's why I wear blue blockers, because I'm born on the 1st of February, and I'm blocking the energy from my computer and putting it even on the Iris app on my computer, so I don't damage my eyes, because I know it already. So my eyes, I stopped wearing glasses because I learned how to reverse the effects through a Dr. Sabi or Dr. Africa. I learned how to reverse the effects. So that's why I put it in the book, to show people each number of your birthday from 1 to 31. I even wrote a children's book called Numbers Are Simple. Children's health is important to read. And that deals with, if you're not taking care of your mental health and you're not taking care of your physical health, then it can become depressive, fam.
King Simon book is actually in the chat. So if you feel free to click the link, just open another tab when you can, or just make sure you come back to it and save it and pick up his books. So let me ask you something else, Simon.
Yes.
What are we doing? But no, before I go there.
Okay.
A lot of these men in our community,
yes, sir,
are deviants. They're foul.
Right.
And I think a lot of them prey on women. Right. You've heard horror stories from some women, where brothers had done them wrong.
Oh yeah, I mean, And let me be.
Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
Let me be transparent. While I was in the club, I was a womanizer. The nightclubs. Oh yeah, I was running Temptations in Caribbean City and all these places. So yeah, I mean, I got baby mothers that are outside of the club life.
But you were supposed to, because that's what the club life. You left the mosque.
I left the mosque.
You didn't have the discipline. So what about the brothers who are in the school, the temple, the mosque, that are doing this and leaving trails of women preying on women, doing women wrong? And then now they're looking at us like, oh, y'all, in words ain't shit.
Right. I think I feel that, like I did to a lot of sisters, when I did hurt them, I apologized to them really sincerely and prayed that they also got their help. I mean, I go back to even back in the day of Flatbush and those. I mean, I remember performing on a stage and seeing a sister that we, when we was in over there in junior high and high school back in the day, running a train on that person. I went and pulled that sister to the side after coming off the stage, opening up for El General, the first reggaeton artist. And I remember her face so vivid. I went there and said, I pulled off the stage and I finished doing my show because I was big as far as reggae. And I said, you don't remember me, right? I said, well, sister, this is such and such and such. You remember when you was dating this guy and he got you set up to get a train ran on you? I was one of the guys that was there. And I apologized. We cried. We hugged each other together. And sometimes women need to get that, especially when it's sincere. And that's back in the day. Nowadays, it's just going crazy. But back in the day, I did that in the 90s after a performance at BMCC. I know.
I don't see too many apologies though, bro. These dudes are feeding their ego. They thinking that, you know, I'm the big man. I'm getting views. I'm getting likes. It don't matter. So again, who are the enforcers? The
enforcers are different now. This is a different thing. The enforcers is the police department.
All right. Ladies, let's be real. Let's call yo, any wrongdoing. Listen, do not fall for no slick talker. Do not listen. All you gotta do a lot of times is you gotta screen the client. Look at the relationship that an individual had with their first children mother. Exactly. Look at their age when they had the children. Look at the age that they at now, and look how they carry and conduct themselves. Just because they have on a stethoscope, a white robe, that doesn't mean they're a doctor. Because all these niggas got on costumes.
And Doggie, I've been married 3 times, and all of it was under Islam. All of them was under Islam, and I'm still good friends with all 3 of my wives.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, because we still converse and talk and, you know, about the children or what have you. You know, we still, you know, yes, did I leave? Yes, I left. Did I leave Islam? Yes, I left Islam. I left it from the Ansars and to this and to Sunni, but to the nation and the Sunni Islam. But I understood my spiritual journey. I had to recognize my spiritual journey.
But we also have to give you room to grow and to know that you're not at that point anymore. Because if we had left Malcolm at Detroit Red, he would be no Malcolm. So I'm into giving people room to grow. I'm talking about the people who hurt and leave a trail of hurt everywhere. Because some dudes be talking polygamy. Just say you just want to fuck a lot of girls, man. Cut it out.
It's called polygamy.
Yeah, this is cut it out, man. Cut it out.
You know, let me tell you, hold on, Doggie. Let me tell you. When I was in the Ansar community back in the 80s, it was offered to my wife at that time, my first wife. And she said, oh, he's not ready for that yet.
right.
I was cool. I was cool with that, but she came to the temple in Cleveland, Ohio, when I was living in Cleveland, and said, oh, he's not ready for that. And I was cool. Big up to my ex-wife for saying that. And I wasn't ready for that yet. That's true, because I wasn't really making that amount of money and doing all that kind of stuff in the Ansar community. So I understand and respect to my first wife for that. Big up to Teslie. She owns a store right there in North Carolina, my former wife, on Bedford. So big up to her. Still in the Nuwapian organization. She's
because then we get mad when these women go to the other side. Right. We get mad at them and like, yo, how could you do this? But look at the dudes who not being held accountable. Divorce happens. Relationships don't always work. But we got dudes who's using the knowledge. And you said that to me earlier, as far as women naturally attract to men who they think is powerful. Right? But I feel like in this day and time, because of social media, because right now, Simon, any chick could hit your DM and tell you they want to get with you.
That's true.
That's when your discipline got to kick in. That's when your discernment got to kick in. That's why, that's when if you in something happy and healthy, you don't risk that. You don't risk that because you don't know what this said person got. And you know what's funny? Let me give you an analogy that I have, right?
Right.
You play chess?
Yes, I play. I used to play, but I still use a strategy.
Okay. So when the pawn get across the board, the pawn could turn into any piece it wants to, right?
Right.
What's the piece that dudes always turn into?
Wait a minute. You said what's the piece that they always turn into?
They always ask for. What's the piece dudes always ask for? They want another queen.
The queen. Right. The queen.
You already got a queen. What you need another queen for?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because the object of the game is to trap the king. So I took that two ways. You get across the board, you want to turn into a female. That's why when dudes make it, right? What's the first thing they start doing? Acting all sassy and weird. Like a woman.
That's right.
This fame. Dudes start acting like women. That's one way. Then they think they made it. Now I could have two queens. But you're one or sitting over there because you can't move two queens at the same time. You could only move one. So what you needed another queen for? Because if you're really a skilled player, you could get a rook, you could get a knight, you could get a bishop. You understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking about that. I said, damn, and respectfully to the ladies in here, I said, yo, damn, soon as the dude get across the board, he want to turn into a bitch.
And all of a sudden, he's dealing with the queen and the king.
This is what I'm saying.
Especially if he's in Atlanta, you got to be careful.
Listen, that's a whole nother bill. That's a whole nother bill. But this is what I'm saying. Now, deviance, bro, is what's making people experiment because we're not being fulfilled mentally.
Right.
Oh, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board? No, the most powerful piece on the board is the king because it's the most protected. That's the power, not things moving, things that get to sit there like this and delegate. So your analogy is bad. Stupido. But anyway, deviance and the thirst for more, dudes just want a hole now too.
They want a what?
A hole.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
That's why they got queens that you don't know what you're dealing with now. See, discernment and discipline gonna say, that's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get caught because you're not thirsty.
With a wig on.
Yeah, you're not thirsty. Again, because they came with what? A wig on, lipsticks, and a BBL. So you thought it was a woman. A costume. Watch people in costumes.
That's true. That's true.
Watch people in costumes. If you talk to me outside of this, I don't wear shades. I don't even wear hats.
Right.
This is how I come before to do this because these lights is bright and I got to protect my eyes, like you said.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? But we got dudes in full costume. They get thrusted in these power positions based off of clout, based off of views. And that's why dudes always start saying, yo, my views, my views, my views. It corrupts.
Yes, it does.
King Simon don't have 500,000 subscribers on his channel, but look at all the knowledge he just took us through. You need to write another book.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on my autobiography.
I need to write a book. I need to write a memoir.
You definitely need to write. You got it.
You understand what I'm saying? You need to write a memoir because, again, what we did tonight, Simon, it's not about us getting 90,000 views. I don't care if it's 700 people in here, 200. We reach some people.
Yeah.
We go up, the temperature go up, we get fiery, we do this, we do that. But that's all needed when we speaking to our people because people got to hear certain things a certain way. Simon going to be politically correct. I'm not. No. But both of our way and both of our method is effective. You understand what I'm saying? And that's togetherness. See, nowadays, we just like, yo, I don't like the way he did that. I don't like the way he said that. So I don't watch him. I don't do this. I don't do that. Yo, oh, nah, he this. Oh, yo, nah, he one of them things. Because I realized too, a lot of people who be attacking, and that's why I said to you before, man, when I did your program, I said, yo, stop telling me that I'm a Moor, a Hebrew. Stop telling me what I am. Don't tell me what I am. Do what work for you.
Exactly. Do
what work for you. Shit, some people could drink too much water.
That's right.
If you have any renal failure, you can't drink water. If you on dialysis, you could only drink so much water.
Yeah.
So the water that could save me could kill you.
Right.
But people don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times we have different methodology for the way we do stuff. Yeah. But what we're not going to do, we're not going to disrespect the elders. I agree with you on that. Some of these dudes in the low tiers and all of that, I don't care about them.
Now, and you know, and let me tell you, because I've rolled with your cousin and certain other people, and when I got your back, I got your back.
Right.
Even in the fight, people know this about me. I'm not going to run. I'm not turning heels because I wasn't trained that way. You know, even to protect women and protect. That's why certain women in my family won't tell me because I'm that person.
They don't tell us either. They don't tell us either.
Yeah, I know they won't tell y'all. We coming up under the damn with knives in our mouth coming under your car. Don't even know that.
And then they gonna put a steak on his eye later.
Yeah, exactly. And then, bro, I know. Man,
well, my sister's got instructions. Yo, just call the police.
Yeah, that's what I tell them.
Because it's gonna get bad.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And your cousin was supposed to help me do something, and I said, nah, because they set that up, let them call the police and go through the courts because they already got the paperwork for that. Dealing with a squatter, I could have called men and they would have been with me. I mean, they was checking on me all the time, and because he got paperwork, I could not do what I wanted to do. Back in the day, we could have, because they had cameras. They got too many cameras. They got too many cameras now. They didn't have all them cameras back in the day. We did that before.
Right.
But nowadays, if you got paperwork and you in the courts with them, you can't do nothing to them. You got to just let them ride and do what they do. Before we
go, I look at you as somebody who's older than me, so you're like an older brother.
Yes.
And it's a lot of me's. It's a lot of you's. Temperament situations. How do you handle stuff? And if you had any advice for me with my temperament, where would you start with me?
I would always tell somebody from a numerical perspective. Being your cousin is a direct 7, you are 257. I would always tell you to observe, don't absorb.
Okay.
Observe what some people are doing. Don't absorb it because it can get emotional with you, and you'll go there.
Yeah, because I can't. Exactly. I'm not okay.
I know.
Exactly. I'm not okay. But I will admit that I'm not okay, and the audience really don't know that. So that's why some of them play with me.
Right.
I'm not okay.
You know, let me say this. Your alignment numbers are 9. And 9 is a warring number on its negative. It will cause destruction.
Right.
Because you will fight for your family and kill for your family because of that 9 energy. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't want them to find out. I be trying, man. Yo, Simon, I try. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really try. And let me tell you something. Why I'm the way I am? Because I always lead with love. Yeah. And when I get hurt,
yes, you
gonna bleed. Remember the son in Claudine? You make my mama cry? I'm gonna put blood in you. That's just.
And again, that alignment number 9. 9 is a number of humanitarian and love, but on the negative of a 9, they warring. There's bloodshed.
I be trying.
All kinds come with that. So I look at people like you. I'll be checking. I'll be like, oh, don't go down there.
Yeah, I be trying. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you.
I be want to text you, but I don't want you to say F me.
No, I would never do that. You know why? Because I do seek counsel. I'm gonna be real with you. I do seek counsel. If I respect you enough, I will never tell you F you. I would just always tell you why I'm doing something. But anybody who I consider to be my family, my brother, elder to me, my older brother, please text me. Yeah. Because I speak to Tad a lot.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Tad, see, the duality is with me and him is that when he's on go, sometimes I'm like, no. When I'm on go, he be like, no. When we both on go, shit is a problem.
It's a
Because
problem.
we don't have each other to feed off of to say chill.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because we come from protecting one another at all costs, protecting the family structure, protecting everything us.
Yes.
We got thrusted into the elder position of our family
Of course.
by death because we lost so many people. We wasn't ready for that.
That's true.
So losing, now it's on us. Now the babies in our family is watching us on YouTube.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I try to curb my language and stuff. But it's late. They should little asses shouldn't be up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But because that's the most important part. So again, I be seeking people because I be like, yo, do you see what this dude is doing? Perfect example. You know some people that I helped in this, right?
Yes.
We had a press conference. We did a lot, bro.
Yeah, we did a broadcast.
In hip hop, do you know how much that could have squashed me when I took on the so-called founder of hip hop? Yep. For me having a hip hop platform, it's people who don't talk to me to this day. It's people who don't talk to you to this day.
Right.
All for a person that I did that for because I thought it was the righteous thing to do, to say, fuck you. You got a dying platform. Your shit is dead.
Right.
So now when I snap, everybody be like, damn, you went hard. You should. What do you want me to do? You're not going to shoot me in the back of the head with spitballs. And I say, stop doing that.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
Again,
right.
the warrior in me makes me fight.
That's right.
But sometimes I be wanting to chill. But like Mike Tyson said, sometimes I feel like a bitch. Because there's a warrior in me and I miss him. I'm telling you, I miss him. And sometimes he just comes out and I be like, yo, whatever y'all want to do. Because first of all, I got bail money. I ain't got no felony, so I could do 30 days for snapping your neck real quick. Like certain shit don't bother me. I'm good.
Right.
But I do be needing help. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to admit it. I am a work in progress. That's why I think about the kids. I think about people who the beauty to my beast. You understand what I'm saying? We all need that.
Both of us
we all need that.
And it's funny you said Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson's his alignment number, like yours, is a number 9 too.
See?
So I can see where y'all can go, where y'all go.
And he from Brooklyn.
Has done that.
And he from Brooklyn.
And we from Brooklyn.
So see, you understand what I'm saying? And we only know how to really go one way when we feel hurt. Not even disrespected, hurt. Because when I lead with love, I don't love everybody. I'm just be real with you. I'm not one of them. I love it. I don't know y'all niggas. I don't love y'all. That's just me. I don't love everybody. So when I lead with love and you took that and you was like, yo, F me, now if I see somebody on the ledge, you go on and jump expeditiously. I don't care. Yo, I'm fucked up now. Because too many people that was on that ledge that I tried to save, that I talked down, you know what they did? When I looked over, they tried to push me. That's where we at as a community, as a people. How many people did you help that you ain't even speak to in 10 years?
I got the receipts, sir.
How do we grow and heal from that?
You got to protect your own energy. That's where this whole boundaries and everything is, man. Sometimes you got to, again, do for self, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then those that are supposed to be attracted to you or appeal to you, those are the ones, because I don't have the same, I have friends from back in the day, but I'm not talking to them all the time.
Right.
You know, we mentioned Mark Slick, we mentioned
Eric, some
Eric,
people go without saying.
Yeah, they still friends, and they did. And when I go around the neighborhood, I ran into Teresa, gave her a big hug. If I run into one of the Lions children, hey, what's up? You know, long time, Stone, Ricky Stone, and his sister, I called her every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that, you know, but that's like 30, 40 years.
Right.
We all live life, man, and life be life in both positive and negative. Life be life, and no doubt, I got it. But, you know, you got to, in this day and time, it's gotten so sensitive, especially when we've gotten into the 2000s. We're 26 years in. But since After 1999, it just got real sensitive, if y'all notice.
Was it? Well, but you know, you said that. I think since 2020, it was a real weird energy shift. Do you feel it?
Of course, it was a shift because remember we was going through what pandemic
Right.
and all the
So a
madness, all
lot of
that.
relationships broke up because we realized you were stuck in the crib with somebody and you was like, so you're not gonna go to work? You don't leave? Oh, we gonna be cooped up in this crib for 2-3 months together? Oh nah, I can't be with you. That was the testament of a lot of people. And I think a lot of us fell out.
Yeah.
A lot of us fell out because it was like, oh nah, I can't be with you. Then remember when people started coughing, your loved ones, you was looking at them like, no, I'm not dying on your account. You go in that room for 10 days. We started really mistreating each other, and many people passed away alone.
Yep.
So I feel like since 2020, it has not been the same by how we view each other. We are all expendable to one another. We do not care. There used to be a point in time where you'd be like, he wouldn't do that to me. We grew up together. Yeah, right. That's the first person to do it to you. When it comes to money, pussy, and opportunity, you can't trust nobody no more.
That's deep. Steve, I'm hearing you, man.
This is crazy.
I still have friends back in the day that I still trust to this day, and we still trust each other to this
Shit,
day.
you better than me. I got dudes, we got the same tattoo. Them bled together, cried together.
Yo,
Do you know what destiny swapping is?
say it again?
Destiny swapping. You ever heard of that?
Nah. What's that?
Ooh, I'm gonna break that down one day for everybody. Destiny swapping is when I look at your life and you are successful, you're doing great.
Right.
I look at my life, I'm not as successful, and I think I'm not doing great. What I do is I tell you, Simon, you ain't shit. You really ain't got this. You really ain't this. So I push my destiny on you. I push my destiny on you to take your destiny.
Oh.
Destiny swapping is real, bro. That's why no matter how successful you be, people ignore your efforts now. You notice that? You don't get the views, likes, and comments. That's a destiny swap. It's real. Yo, it's real. So I look at myself, a fearless, free black man. I'm a threat to niggas. It ain't even the white people.
That's true.
It's niggas who say, I should have this. I should be where he at. I should this. I don't fuck with him. Okay, fine. I'm not responsible for where you at.
You're a whole legend, man. I mean, Star shouts you out.
This is what I'm saying. So people, destiny, right?
Yeah.
They will push their fear and their life on you and make you believe you are not who you are.
Right.
And you will start shrinking mentally, and they'll take your whole aura, your identity and everything and all your know-how and your knowledge and swap.
That's like energy vampires, huh?
Listen, shit is real. It's real. Destiny
I never heard
swapping.
it presented that
Look
way.
it up. Anybody can look it up. Look up destiny
Similar
swapping.
to, like I said, energy vampiric ways, but wow, that's deep.
Look up destiny swapping.
I gotta look that up.
How many people say to you, how many people that you look at and because you're gonna have people who say, Simon don't really know them numbers. I know the numbers.
Yes.
It happens. It's happening every day to everybody that's in this room.
Wow.
Right on some single white female shit. Look up destiny swapping. It's that
at
real.
it right now. Wow.
Look up one of the definitions of it.
Destiny swapping in a spiritual context refers to the belief that one person can somehow take over another person's destiny or life path, often through malicious means or by attracting negative energy.
What I just told y'all.
Damn. It's the first time I heard of this one. And you know, destiny comes in numerology. They got destiny and they got life path. So when you start putting that up, I'm like, wait a minute. Now I can see it in numerology, how people can grab it and study your numbers or study your stuff and try to snatch it in their own way, like practicing a negative form of voodoo.
Because a lot of things is, although some things might be in the physical,
Right.
think how many things is in the mental. Once you make somebody believe that they're not,
Believe that. Right.
or they believe that they're not, or even belief. That's why I say, yo, I don't believe in that. That's why I always say that about certain things. But, yo, I don't believe in that, because you're not going to get me to subscribe to certain things, because I know a lot of people use a lot of things for evil.
That's right.
So I
And
don't
it's-
believe in it. I'm not subscribing to that. I don't listen to that. You
everything
understand
is a
what I'm
matter of
saying?
intentions. I tell people because I was asked by a Hebrew Israelites back in the day, isn't this stuff of the devil? I said, who created the devil? If in your Bible, God created the devil. So what game was God playing to create the devil? That
Right.
is a matter of intentions that the devil and his angels know, and God and his angels know numbers, but it's a matter of using it with positive, or one going to use it with negative intention. That's why Aleister Crowley was so big in what he did
Right.
with numbers.
Right.
You understand? So my intentions is to motivate you to be better. So that's why I can look at your number and say, no, bro, observe, don't absorb. So you don't get caught up in the madness.
So look, let me show you something deep with numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
What's on my arm? 927, right?
927.
You said I'm a number 9, right?
Yeah, like your alignment numbers are number 9.
What's 2
9,
plus 7?
9.
What's this number up here?
What is that? 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9.
What's 9 times 3?
Say again?
What's 9 times 3?
It's 27.
9, 27.
7.
It's
Right.
still 9s. It's 3 numbers.
Yeah, it's
if you
always
take these 3 numbers
It's still going to add
and
up to 9.
times it to times 9, you're still going to get a 9.
That's how powerful 9 is.
This is on my own, but you know what this means? This means on the phone, WAR, war.
And 9 is the number of war.
This is what this means.
Damn.
Y'all fuck with me if y'all want to.
Damn.
This is tatted on our arms.
Damn.
Aruba Day, her birthday is 9/27. This is WAR. This is stand for war. Also wanted and respected. Also Waverly Avenue Raiders. Also Waverly and Atlantic Terminal Raiders. Also We Are Ready.
I know the Raiders. I remember the Raiders.
So this is what I'm saying. I didn't know that doing this, but doing the knowledge on shit, I said, yo, I didn't even realize what I just did, because I came up with 927. That's something that I made up. I said, we can't put war on our arm,
Right.
but let's take it numerology on the phone, WAR.
Wow.
927. Tag got it. A lot of us have it.
Wow.
It's still the number 9.
Still the number 9. That's the powerful thing about 9, that when you either add it to itself or multiply it by itself, it's either going to reflect the number that is added to, or it's going to bring back the number 9 to it. That's why the Chaldeans, and this is a good book to get. Let me show somebody the book. This book is called The Black Chaldeans. Black Chaldeans, melanated people. The Chaldeans revered the number 9 so much that they didn't even put it in their system. They have 1 to 8, but if it shows up, it's either higher level of humanity and love, or it's going to be war and destruction when it shows up.
King Simon, could we plug your channel really quick?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead. I need you to do that, because we see the books, but you are on the internet.
Yes, I am on the internet.
Yeah.
King Simon Presents YouTube, or KSP TV Media. It's faster to do KSP TV Media, but it was I call it King Simon Presents Only Quality People. I'm not really. It's about the quality, not just the quantity.
Right. You don't care how many views you got, how many likes you got, who think you cute. You got a BBL. None of that matter.
Yeah,
right? You got to come on there and drop it. Also, you're on Amazon.
I'm on Amazon. King Simon. Amazon.
Your social media is what?
I am King Simon 111 on IG.
Now you got to shorten that somehow, bro. They ain't people. Come on now. I am King Simon. What's the ones all about?
Triple ones. I am King Simon. Triple ones. Because I'm born under the first. That 111 is all about creativity and for me. But I couldn't find King Simon by itself because somebody took it. I was trying to get but But again, you could also Google me, King Simon Productions, or Numerology and King Simon. It all pops up. All of it pops up. All of my
So if an individual wants your services or wants to know more, was the best form of contact?
Text me.
You putting your number? I ain't putting my number out there. You could give them your number. I ain't
I'm
doing
like,
that.
me and Griff, I think, is the only ones that put our number out there. Text me your full name, date of birth, and an email to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Don't call me.
Right, just text. Yeah.
I said text, and that's when I'll respond and deal with you. And then we'll set up the consultation, and then we'll talk. But I'm not doing it unless I know you. Like Doggie could call me, or
Right.
Keisha. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But again, I can help you, but you got to be open to it, because like Delbert Blair used to say, there's no truth until you decide what truth is.
Right.
Truth about numbers, man, it doesn't lie.
Right.
They used to say the real saying. Let me say, I said numbers don't lie, but it's figures don't lie, but liars do figure. That's the real saying. It's just like back in the day, they used to say the devil's in the details, which it was really God is in the details. Original. Again, connotative, denotative, things change over time. Letters, names, words, all of that change over time. So study, family, study. And again, respect yourself, respect your elders, love yourself, love your women, love your children. You know, right now, 2 of my daughters ain't talking, but I understand, because those are mothers that I met in the club.
That's siblings. Yeah.
Huh?
That's siblings sometimes.
I didn't talk to my father and my mother for a long time and stopped because I felt abandoned and all that kind of. I went through that myself. I know what it is. And I let them do. Out of all 9 of my children, at least 2 of them not talking. I said, at least I'm talking to the rest of them. But I'm still concerned about those 2.
Right. It'll work. It ebbs and
I'm
flows.
glad they're talking to my son. They connect with my son, so that's good. And he looks just like me, so it is what it is. So,
Right. So King Simon, I appreciate you.
Man,
I hope I didn't get you in no trouble.
Nah, brother, I live by myself.
I'm out of control. You know, I know I'm out of control at times, but I mean,
that was your conversation.
You know, I mean well. No, but I'm telling y'all, I mean well. I'm telling you, I mean well. It is not coming from no place. But then if you feel away, so what? At the end of the day, because some of y'all need to hear certain shit. No, for real, because people don't be keeping it real, and y'all know I'm not going to. I say a lot of things out of love as well.
That's right.
I say a lot of things out of love, and again, if we gonna get this shit together, sometimes your name got to get called out.
And with that 9 energy y'all got around you, especially you, 9 says what they mean and mean what they say.
And I ain't going to stop for nothing. This is Doggie Diamonds No Filter. Make sure you subscribe to King Simon channel. Again, any views expressed tonight, anything that came out of King Simon's mouth, he's responsible for.
That's right.
Anything that came out of my mouth, I'm responsible for. Do not hold anything that I said against King Simon. Don't hold anything. You can hold it against me, whatever he said, because I ain't going to do nothing anyway. So I really don't care. But anything that I said, don't hold it against him, because he you know what type of time he's on. He's peace, love. As for me,
you know, Khalid said, "Saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers." I'm in my healing frequency right now, because back in the nation, we would be killing people. We had that killer mentality when it came to defending the minister or whatever.
Listen.
But I'm in my healing phase right now.
As for me,
some of y'all niggas gotta die.
because y'all messing it up for the good ones.
Yo, he's from my neighborhood.
So
I
enough
love you,
is
man.
enough. I'm sick of all of y'all. Just me. Listen, I don't want none of y'all on my platform no more. I don't even want to mess with y'all, because you know what? If that's the case, if the way a lot of them carry it, Simon, I might as well just deal with ignorant rappers instead of people who's supposed to know better. At least the rappers don't know no better.
Wow.
We're still trying to get to them. We're still trying to say to certain things to them. If you coming under the guise that you know better and you supposed to be doing better, how come you doing more hurting than you doing helping? So I don't fuck with none of y'all. Listen, listen. I don't fuck with none of y'all. Don't nobody call my phone, nobody say something. If you make a video, say anything about me, I'm gonna punch you in your face when I see you. That go for any of y'all. That's just facts. And you know what? I just dare you. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough with the games, because y'all done hurt a lot of people, and people always come to me. You get what I'm saying? People come to me because they hold you accountable for other men. They hold me accountable for other men, and I be like, yo, I don't have nothing to do with that. But I saw him on your thing. I'm like, damn, I did do a video with him, but that ain't really had nothing to do. So I'm explaining how people didn't get their orders on stuff. I'm explaining what that got to do with me.
Right.
But because I got this platform, and you saw said person on this platform, I get the blame. And I'm not talking about conscious, brother. I'm talking about former co-hosts, all types of, bro. They did a lot. They did a lot of damage. And that's why, to a certain extent, people would say, I don't trust Simon. I don't trust Doggie Diamonds. You know why? Because they didn't vet people. They didn't use discernment. They just told me to go to this person, and this person did this to me. So that's why, to a certain extent, I do be feeling bad and responsible for certain stuff. That's why I just say, yo, you know what? Fuck all y'all niggas now. Especially if you be kicking that same shit around the pool room for the past 25, 30 years. Fuck out of here. I don't care what rocks you got on. I don't care what crystals you got on. I don't care what unks you got on. I don't care what fringes you got on. I don't care what bow. I don't care about none of that. Because a lot of y'all niggas is cap. And it's up. It's up. I don't care. Yo, it's up. With me, it's up. Just stay out of my way. Simon love y'all. I don't. And on that note, bro, I'm going to sign you out. I'm going to holler at the people real quick. I appreciate you. Until next time.
All right. One love, brother.
All right.
Peace.
So, yeah, this is Doggie Diamonds No Filter. This just had to happen, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be crazy, but so what? Maybe I am a little crazy. But some of this stuff had to happen. It's not personal with anybody, but a lot of people have been playing for a very long time with people playing with our culture and going under the guise of, and they like to group us in with a lot of stuff. I don't claim to be conscious. I don't claim to be any of that. I'm just a part of something, and I attended events. I did a lot of stuff. And I'm starting to now get grouped in, and I'm starting to get the blame for a lot of stuff. You got Nicholas Brooklyn. You got a lot of places where, because Monique might have hosted certain people and did events there, people think she's a part of it. So I'm speaking for people like Monique. I'm speaking for people like Ella. I'm speaking for people like Pharaonic Corp, who always made do on his orders. You understand what I'm saying? Monique is shipping out every day, whether it's the incense, the oils, the frankincense. I love the frankincense they make there, all of that stuff. But it is some people who are getting blamed, losing business, losing credibility because she might have hosted somebody there and then somebody didn't do right. She's not responsible for that. But people are blaming us. So I just spoke about us to us. So all y'all niggas, listen, fuck y'all. Because sometimes I like to entertain my evil. And on that note, I'm Doggie Diamonds. Until next time, peace. Oh. I messed the beat up at the end. Whatever.